Hello there! From behind the yellow line, this is Trammin episode 164. My name is Kirk, and as always, I'm joined by my friend, and he's a sucker for clickbait, Christian Rainwater.
What's up, everybody? Our big third topic of the week is Disneyland sucks.
And today, we're joined by our friend, and he just wants to tussle, Matthew Serrano.
Hey, my thoughts and opinions do not reflect those of the Trammin Corporation.
The segue sucks.
Hello, everyone. Welcome aboard Trammin, a Disneyland podcast. Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding. As a courtesy to other passengers, we ask that there be no eating, drinking, or smoking on board. In just a few moments, we will begin our trip into the Disneyland Resort news and topic of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, this tram is ready to depart. Driver, you are clear.
Welcome back to Trammin, everyone. Happy Wednesday. We are your hosts, Kirk and Rain. Welcome back, Rain.
Thank you. It's been a couple weeks. I appreciate you telling everyone last week what was going on. I had tonsillitis for a couple weeks, and dude, it's hilarious because when I woke up a couple weeks ago, it was a Monday, and I'm like, I'm going to work, whatever. I didn't feel too bad, but I look in the mirror, and I look at my chin, and I'm like, man, this double chin is getting unruly. Like I gotta work on this double chin. And then I touch my chin, and I'm like, why is this so hard? Coming to find out, my tonsils were like the size of golf balls. So yeah, that was going on. But I'm feeling better now. I still am coughing a lot, so if I mute myself, you know what's going on.
I do want to say before I throw it to Matthew. Well, first I want to say glad you're feeling better. And yeah, that I had to tell everyone what was going on because they were probably going to worry.
Yeah.
But also I think your audio is a little high and crunchy. You're like maxing out.
No, really?
Maybe turn that dial down one. I don't know.
It's down 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back.
Okay, Matthew, how have you been?
I've been great, man. Doing really well. Super excited about all the stuff that's going on right now. Like, me and my girlfriends are starting a clothing line called Toby and Linus, and so we've been working on that for the past couple of months. And
the artwork is adorable.
Thank you. Yeah, we're really excited to start teasing more about the clothing. We're going to be starting that process soon. So yeah, it's been super fun.
Yeah, we need you to do all the hard work and then explain to us what you did so we can make Trammin merch.
I explained to you at St. Trammin's Day. I was like, look, it's not hard. It's easy. I just gotta give you a guy.
A guide or a guy?
Oh, a guy. Sorry.
Yeah, wait. Again, D or no D?
No D.
No
G-U-Y.
D. Okay, yeah, I do need a guy. I need a guy.
Like Fieri.
The joke here is
Like chicken guy.
I still have not been, but my sister's boyfriend Aaron, who I've known like his whole life, he has a clothing company.
Oh man,
I don't know how to tap that potential. He gave me some shirts as an early birthday present. So everyone's like, why don't you rep Pieces? I'm like, well, I can't buy his stuff because he gets mad if I try to pay for it. But then he also doesn't give me any of it. So, but I've got 3 shirts now, so they will be debuting. But today's shirt, does anybody know what this is? I know you know it's a Spirit jersey. But you two, either one of you know what's on the back of this?
I saw it the other day and I don't remember.
I'm guessing it's gonna say Galaxy Far, Far Away.
No.
Dang.
The theme of this episode, Disneyland sucks. I don't know if you'll see it, but it's a Rise of Skywalker Spirit jersey. Now,
nice.
RJ and family got me this because he has one, so we have matching Spirit jerseys. It is actually an awesome Spirit jersey. Just
really
an awesome movie. Like look at this. It's got the stars. It's got lightsabers instead of the Disneyland D, and then that's it. There's no like craziness, right? There's no, I don't know, weird quotes.
Yeah. I thought you meant like it was like super comfy or something like that.
Oh, I mean all the Spirit jerseys, they're pretty comfy. Yeah, I mean I don't have much. Spirit jerseys will not be in this episode because they don't suck. They were in our vibe check episode that everyone should check out. I do like that episode. That their time is kind of gone, but yeah, they don't suck at all. But guys, let's test out David Wallace's "Suck It" with
Mousekeeping. If it's your first time here, welcome aboard Trammin, a Disneyland podcast where Kirk and I talk about the Disneyland Resort through and only through our eyes. How do I sound, Kirk? Do I sound fine?
Okay, so it is a little crunchy, but is
Okay.
that because there are 3 of us on the internet connection, or
No clue. No clue. On my waves right here, I look pretty good.
all right,
Okay.
I trust
We'll
you.
see. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, it might
To
be an
catch up on
internet thing.
jokes. Yeah, okay, good. To catch up on jokes, references, context, and backstory, check out our lore page on trammin.com/lore. For our recommendations for Disneyland, DCA, and more, check out trammin.com/rex. For artwork to make your own Trammin merch, visit trammin.com/art. That is for your personal use only. If you enjoy the show, like, subscribe, comment, or review us wherever you can, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and my favorite, YouTubes. For a visual guide of the show, follow at Trammin Podcast on Instagram. And to write into the show, head to trammin.com/ask. If you use Discord and would like access to our server, let us know. And you can find all these links and lore on trammin.com.
Yes, you can. So, it's time for Your Right, in which members of the Tram fam write in with corrections and comments just like you can at trammin.com/ask. Rain, cue up that corrections music, please. Eduardo writes in, "Hey Trammin, my dirt cold brew comment was a reference, and it is an anti-shout out to the mudslide cold brew over at Cafe Daisy. It was disgusting. 0 out of 10. What is 10 out of 10 though? Portos. I believe that living in Southern California and not having had Portos is a big crime." Oh, you not saying any names. Oh, I guess someone wrote in, never had it. And I just wanted to say that during the cell room on Rise, that is what you call noise cancellation mode. I know Rain, and welcome back, we'll get it. But do you, Kirk? You are an Apple boy after all. So, Eduardo, Kimmy also thinks that cold brew sucks, but I'm not putting that in this episode. Okay, Eduardo, I got something to say. Bose invented noise canceling headphones, not Apple.
But that Apple noise cancellation on those AirPod Pros, when it just goes that, you know what I mean?
But
pretty
they
neat.
so all noise canceling headphones have that effect, that like ear shattering, ear shaking effect. So it's not an Apple thing. But the thing I did want to tell Eduardo is neither one of us have AirPod Pros. We like the AirPod 2s because they're so like you don't got to shove them in the ear.
Yeah.
So yeah, Matthew, what do you got?
Let's go. I got
Nice.
the
The regular
nice.
boys, yeah.
Nice.
So much more
the
comfortable.
OG,
Yeah.
the third generation OGs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not I'm wearing buds right now, and I hate buds. I never go for buds because it feels like I'm like
Yeah.
clicking into my ear.
I
Like,
hate that feeling.
Something
I
I did
know.
learn though, most people are probably using ear tips that are too big. Because like their pros stick out and they look kind of silly and whatever. And then like on everything I have, I know I have small ears, but like I put the tiniest thing that everything comes with, and everything's way more comfortable. So check that out, everyone. All right, Andrea writes in, "Okay, just because you mentioned Expedition Everest and the track switching and taking a long time, I really didn't love this ride when I went on it because of that. And I've never heard anyone else mention this issue, but it ruined the momentum of the roller coaster for me. So I love Fantasmic. It's a great show, but the reason I've only watched it a couple times is that it's so hard to get a good spot. I'd much rather watch the fireworks, which you can see from almost anywhere. I hate having heads in my view of Fantasmic. Side note, this is voice text while driving, hence the typos. She spelled Fantasmic very wrong."
I was gonna ask.
Yeah. And this is in response to your solo episode. So she continues, "Wow, I wasn't expecting to love that Bare Necessities episode as much as I did, but that was extremely touching hearing from so many people about what makes Disneyland special to them. Thank you for making it happen, and thank you to all the Tram fam for writing in. Not me getting emotional, as I'm 15 minutes from Disneyland after a 6-hour drive." Thank you. Thank you, Andrea, for writing in. Thank you, everyone, for writing in and for listening to that Bare Necessities episode. I don't remember it because I think I got buzzed during the episode. So
That was your solo episode, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I was gone by the end of that.
Nice. Nice.
You know what happened? Because I kept drinking that beer and I kept not drinking water because you can't take sip breaks when you're alone.
Right.
There isn't
right,
like someone else talking. But yeah, Rain. How do I say uncue the corrections music?
I think
Tell the corrections music to turn around and exit from the way they came in because we don't know when the ride will be back up again.
there you go.
Let's get in some news. Got some headlines for you guys. First up, not falling for that again. Fantasmic's 2-week closure has been extended by 2 weeks until May 28th, at
Oh,
which point it will be extended another 2 weeks
yeah.
and then another 2 weeks. Yeah,
Did they say this is gonna be B mode, or did they just say it's gonna open?
they're just like it's at least 2 weeks.
Right. But no Murphy, right? Like,
Oh,
No one knows. I haven't
no.
heard anything.
Okay, that thing is an animatronic. It burned down.
right.
And they're not going to reuse something that burned down.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, we'll fix it. It's like it exploded once. It's gonna. I don't know. It's just a bad look.
From what I heard, allegedly, is that it's not really a matter of like it taking 2 weeks to get the show back up, whether it's in A mode or in B mode. I heard that it's more of to allow time for a proper investigation to happen into what happened, because allegedly there is human error involved.
Whoa.
But you didn't hear it from me.
Yeah, and I did hear like, I mean, there are probably some traumatized cast members too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It is
the whole
scary. Like,
situation just sucks. It's just
Yeah.
awful in every way.
yeah, I assume when it comes back, they'll just bring it back with B mode. No one will be, or people will be none the wiser. And I do think if they figure it out and it was like clear human error, they'll just rebuild it and have a way to avoid that in the future. Everyone wonders like, what is this ridiculous procedure for blank? It's like usually someone messed up somewhere and now you got to do it this way.
Right.
But yeah, Phantasmic is like, I think it's just, we could agree it's a permanent fixture at Disneyland, so they'll rebuild it. I hope. But yeah,
I think so too. I think it'll be one of those things where they wait a really long time, and they're like, "This is the summer that Murphy returns," and they turn it into a thing.
yeah, it's gonna be a while before it returns. The show though, it could return sooner than that, but don't expect it before May 28th. Next up, Peter Pan's plight. Scott Gustin reports that there's an update. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride and Alice in Wonderland at Disneyland Park will be closed for refurbishment from June 5th through 15th. Both rides are set to reopen on June 16th. Peter Pan's Flight is still set to close for refurbishment on June 5th. A reopening date is not yet available.
Mm.
So these are in the same building as we mentioned before. But Freddie and I were speculating if there will be any changes to Peter Pan.
I liked Freddie's take on the Native American portion of the ride.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I wonder if they'll take the time to just I assume just repaint them, you know. I don't think they're gonna remove them.
You don't think they'll? I think they'll remove them.
I think they'll remove them. They have to. It doesn't make any sense to repaint them, because then
Well-
people are going to go back and watch the movie and be like, "Oh,
So the thing is though, it's still based on a specific film, right? So what
Right.
what would they put there? Because it's just gonna be empty. Like just have Skull Rock and be like menacing, like, you know.
Anything else?
anything else? I really
Right.
don't care."
No,
'Cause
no,
the
no.
thing is that you're like,
I don't. I'm
"Oh,
not
yeah."
arguing. I'm saying like, what do you
No,
think they will
totally.
put there?
I have no idea, but
Yeah, that was
it's just a funny thing, because it's like so shocking that like it's if that is what they're doing, it's so shocking that it's taken this long, especially because it's like, it's so funny, like so many people make the arguments for different things about like how some things are representation, some things aren't. Like I'll give you a good example, like Speedy Gonzalez, right? People were trying to like cancel Speedy Gonzalez, and then Mexican people rose up and were like, no.
He's cool.
No, he's cool. And the thing is, like, what tribe do the Native Americans represent in
Got
Peter
it.
Pan? Like, not a single, like, not at all. Like, they're not representation. They are just completely just a stereotype, and like a super harmful stereotype at one at that. Like, if you listen to like the lyrics of the song that they sing.
yeah.
So, like,
We did agree the song's going, but yeah, we weren't sure. But I guess we'll see.
I feel like they've been doing a really good job of adding in like cool, neat little things into rides lately, like neat little features, and being really creative with the space. the entirety of Snow White is like a total like
Hmm.
a great example of that. And then even more recently, the Indiana Jones, the new hallway scene is fantastic. And
Yeah.
so I could see them doing something really cool with that area. Like I think what would be really neat is like to maybe add. I'm trying to like think of that wall. Like you can maybe condense that wall into like the ship taking off or something like that. Do like a pixie dust effect that
Hmm.
travels from the wall into where all of them are on the ship.
That's a good point. You could probably just get away with some projections with that too, just like on
Yeah.
Indy. That's cool.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. I'm not gonna. I think it'll be even more ridiculous if people get mad compared to Splash Mountain. I'm not saying like the severity of racism and whatever. Splash Mountain is like an entire attraction. So it's like I get people feeling that things are a little uprooted, right? It's like, oh, this is a big change. It's like, okay, yeah, it's emotional, whatever. It's like if you're getting mad about this, there's this I don't I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Next headline. Man, this is cool. I don't know. I was trying to say mantis.
That's not bad. It's not bad.
No, yeah, I
Pretty
couldn't
good.
figure it out, but mantis
Yeah, that's pretty
is
good.
now a part of Guardians of the Galaxy Awesome Dance Off outside of Mission Breakout for a limited time.
Oh, limited time. I'm surprised.
Yeah. So she's out there dancing
Oh,
with those thick antennas. Uh
Yeah, I
or
saw that.
yeah,
antennae.
yeah.
But I assume it's so they stay rigid. Cuz so they're not just flying around.
It's
Cuz
not
it's
even the
not
antenna that's the problem. It's like, dude, that's like whoever's doing it, like blend the prosthetics. You could see the plate.
yeah.
It's just a
Yeah.
chunk on her head. And it's like, it sucks because like she looks great. Otherwise,
Yeah, but you can't spend like 3 hours in prosthetics for like 15 minutes of dancing and then she goes inside. But it's like partially CG'd in the movies, right?
I think
Like
so. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think they put LEDs up there so it lights her face, but then they CG him anyway because that's Marvel. Um, I'm not
I'm sure
sure.
there's a cosplayer out there that's like, I know how to do it.
Of course. Of course. Okay. Next up, Pixar Peering. OC Register reports that Incredicoaster, Inside Out, Emotional Whirlwind, and Jumpin' Jellyfish may run later than usual as Disney California Adventure conducts operational tests. This
Does
is
this
during World of Color.
okay? That's all I was gonna
You
ask.
can watch World of Color from these rides.
From Incredicoaster. All right.
Yeah,
That is so weird.
Midway Mania is closed during World of Color, right?
I don't think so.
No?
No, I think I've been on during World of Color.
Oh,
And I
maybe
think I
that's what.
looked it up the other day when I was going to go see World of Color with a friend, and we were trying to figure out like what stays open, what closes, and whatnot, and we were
Yeah.
confused by it. I feel like it's always it either always changes or they're just not very clear about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the swings are definitely closed because that's a huge distraction, and it has to be lit up. Incredicoaster doesn't need to be lit up unless there's an emergency, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So, but the screams are there, but then are the screams drowned out by how loud World of Color is? I don't know, but we'll see how it goes. It would,
Cool.
it would if it doesn't negatively affect World of Color, the more stuff open, the better.
Yeah.
So
For
I
sure.
wonder if part of it too, forever, is I know even with Phantasmic, they pull a bunch of cast members from attractions for crowd control. So maybe it's one of those
Oh,
things
okay.
too. I don't know.
Mm.
But I guess we'll see. Guess we'll see. And finally, far off dreams from a far off land. At Walt Disney World, dated tickets, which is like the tiered tickets for us, will no longer require reservations starting in 2024. Annual passes will have good to go days added to their calendars in 2024, with bonus days going away, similar to our former Flex Pass. So we've been talking about this on this show forever that we will probably get something like this at some point.
Yeah.
And Walt Disney World's getting it right now. Uh, Currently, 2 p.m. After 2 p.m., reservations are not required except at Magic Kingdom. And we predicted we will get something like that for at least DCA or weekdays only. Because Disneyland on a Saturday is it's not going to happen. We assume at some point we will get. I could say confidently we'll get good to go days at some point. Now, the good to go days are part of available days. Like they will not be replacing blockout days or whatever. So the blockout calendars aren't changing. They have to announce all this now because of new sales. But yeah, they are getting everything first, but they don't really have that many pass holders, and it's not really an issue over there. So
And
Not
there's a
at
lot
all.
more space there too.
yeah,
Like it's just more areas. So I think it's gonna take a while for us to get something like this. At least a couple years before. Like I think something dramatic has to happen in order for this to happen because they like the reservations so much at this point.
They
I don't
do.
know.
yeah, this is January 2024, which is not as far off as I thought when I was writing this down. It's like May. It's mid May now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Matthew, what do you think? How far off would you say we
I'm
are?
not sure about how far off we are, but it still is really exciting to me because, I feel like ever since like 2020, 2021, like Disney fans and like Disney have just been in this like tug of war, like just this absolute stalemate of like everyone being like, we hate this reservation system. Like literally everyone hates it. And then Disney being like, sucks. This is the future. This is the way things are going to be forever. And this news is just Disney's foot slipping during that tug of war.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. Like it's not going to be a forever thing. It's only inevitable that they're going to get rid of it little by
Yeah.
little.
Yeah, and I think, something I tell people a lot, I don't know if I said it last week, I've probably said it on the show, but a big thing is, like, everyone who doesn't go to Disneyland asks me, "Why is Disney so busy?" while they're there for the first trip since COVID. And I'm like, "Everyone's still doing what you're doing today, right?" It's people are still coming back for the first time. There's still people who are like, "Oh, I haven't been to Disneyland since the pandemic. I'm gonna go pretty soon." So it's like everyone's still getting that in, not even like yearly trips or whatever. And I know that's not everything, but FOMO is real,
Yeah.
realer than ever. So parks are busy. I'm not going to ever defend the reservation system, but I understand why they say what they say about it. But who wouldn't love to know how many sales you're going to make every single day,
Right.
right? I'd love to. That's for sure.
Or how
But
many
yeah,
turkey legs. It's not even that. It's really just them being like, oh cool, this is how many turkey legs we need today.
it's all of it. It's the turkey
It's
legs. It's the
okay, this is how many
merch.
people we need at parking. This is
Mhm.
how many people we need here. It's just ways for them to cut money. That's really it.
I would say their operations have gotten slightly better in terms of, like, mobile order wait times, even, like, ride wait times, except for those crazy the days that are just everything's just crazy. I see things shrinking down a little bit. They are able to do single rider at Space Mountain and have, like, a billion cast members just standing around over there,
Yeah.
which is not something they were able to do, last year even. But yeah, there is hope, but if this is 2024 for them and they don't even they think they know how it's gonna go, but they don't know. We'll just don't hold your breath, you know? Don't buy a pass thinking at some point it'll go away. Buy a pass if you're gonna use it the way it is now. Um,
Right.
as you should do with most things anyway. Like, don't buy a phone because it's gonna get an update, that kind of stuff. So anyways, it is now time for our Big Thunder topic of the week. Disneyland sucks. So Matthew texted me, what, like, hours after I thought, "Hey, we haven't had him on the show in a while." And I was thinking we'd have some weird, like, crazy topic, like the transportation type of thing, like some nerdy stuff, right?
Yeah, so it's super niche.
Yeah, and then he came up with something, but that's a reserved episode that we will not mention right now.
Yes,
But
yes, yes.
then he was like, "I just wanna complain. I just wanna," he said, "I just wanna tussle."
Yeah.
Like, I think you said you just wanna crap on
Ruffle
the
some
things people
feathers.
like, I'm not sure,
Yeah,
yeah, so
yeah.
I'm like, "You know what? First we were gonna do overrated, which we can do at some point." Like, "No, you go all in. Disneyland sucks." And I think we've thought about doing this. So,
Yeah.
we're just gonna if we hate it, we're just gonna say, "This is the negative episode." Next week will be a wonderful, magical episode, but this week will not be. I mean,
To
it's
an
gonna be
extent.
wonderful.
To an extent next week.
No, 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 I pushed the other thing.
Oh, you pushed it.
I
Okay,
keep pushing it. I know, I
that
know.
makes sense. Okay.
But, I decided on a topic for my birthday, so,
Okay.
Okay. I wrote down my Rain, is this your stuff down
Yeah,
here?
I put some stuff on the bottom.
Okay, but Matthew, I want you to go first. What sucks at Disneyland?
Okay, so first of all, I have to preface by saying I thought we were doing overrated episodes today.
Oh, no, that's okay.
So I wrote all the things I think is overrated. I made an itemized list of like specific things,
Do these
like
things
snacks,
suck?
quick service, sit down.
Okay, but do they suck? We could do
Not
both,
all of them.
right?
Not all of them. Not
No?
all of them.
Okay, you could preface the thing
Why
with,
don't one of
like,
you
does
guys
it
go first, and I can come up with some things that suck over overrated.
That's
All right.
That's
All
up to
right.
you. Yeah, we could do overrated and suck, but whatever. I will say burgers. All the burgers.
1,000,000%. I
Every
thought
single
sorry. I thought
Now hold
about
on.
no, all the burgers that are in Disneyland.
Okay,
Disneyland.
okay. So
Yeah.
we are just talking about Disneyland.
Yeah,
We're not
yeah.
talking
listen,
about the resort.
Black Tap is
Yeah, yeah.
awesome and whatever. Disneyland burgers suck. We're not even going to DCA right now.
Dude, even the
Or are
tavern,
we, Rain?
the Earl of Sandwich Tavern, I had that mac and cheese
Dude,
burger. It
that
was
burger
good.
sucked.
What?
The burger sucked. But
And
I
the
thought it was
tussle
so good.
begins.
Oh my god. Well, that makes me sad because a big test of that place because it's so brand new. I was like, is it going to be inconsistent? So it
yeah,
sounded like it.
it was super bland. I made a better burger like 3 days later.
Bummo.
Like from Trader Joe's and like some Old Spices in my cabinet.
Ah,
So
big bummer.
yeah. So but all the burgers suck. Rain, I know you said you had some good burger at Hungry Bear. I don't believe you.
One time, it was literally one time, and since then I've been back to Hungry Bear to get different kind of burgers because of that Fantasmic food package. I got a burger at one point, not good,
Yeah,
not good.
the buns are whatever, right? The toppings are never enough. It's always like this little like $half. For those of you who don't know, there is a 50-cent coin with JFK on it. They're dry. Like I liked that like cheesy potato Disney 100 one, but like it wasn't a good burger. It was a
Oh.
good potato sandwich.
Was that at Hungry Bear?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Yeah, the actual burger part was dry.
Because Galactic Grill, I feel like, is the most egregious out of all the places that just have
Probably.
the
Yeah.
bad burgers. Hungry Bear, like I said, it had that one burger that I really liked, but other than that,
I've had like the Beast Burger too, or
at Red Rose Tavern,
Beast's Burger, not the Beast Burger. Yeah, with at Red Rose, everything. It's like, look, it's just frozen pre-made patties that they have to cook well done because it'll freak out like the general public if there's any pink or red in it. So it's just not going to be good.
Yeah.
And they don't have like Lamplight Lounge right at Disneyland. They don't have just sit down with a good burger. And I'm kind of fighting back recently at sit down restaurants in general that aren't burger places that sell hamburgers. They're so mediocre. They just put a burger on the menu for someone who didn't want anything else, right? Like
Yeah.
I know we're getting a little off, but yeah, all the burgers suck and you shouldn't order them at all. Rain, what do you got?
Shall I go? All right, since we're on the topic of food, and we're in Disneyland, the Fantasmic food package, the upsell that's been going on for a while now, and I have kind of two trains of thought on this. I like the Fantasmic food package on where you're going, where you're sitting. I do not like the fact that there's a giant reserved area now for just food packages. I mean, even though there was for sit down before, but I feel like that area is even bigger now because of Hungry Bear food package specifically. I also hate the fact that if you buy this package and Fantasmic is canceled, you're just SOL. Yeah, you can't get the refund. You just gonna be paying what is it, like $35, $40, and you can get the ribs or you can get the burger, whatever, meatloaf, whatever. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of this food package overall.
So I do have to correct you.
Okay.
There has always been a grab and go food option. It used to be
Has
it used to be at Aladdin's Oasis.
Really?
Yes. You'd grab the food, you could eat it during Fantasmic or whatever. So that's always been there, but it could still suck because of that. Yeah, it's weird. I'm like we wanted to do it, we're like oddly afraid of it, even though it's been canceled like one time, right? But besides, burning down.
Yeah.
I would have loved a front seat to that. But yeah, um I don't know. That there's no way the food's good, right, Rain? You said you liked it, but then
I did at first, and then I went back and I was like, I don't want the ribs right now, and I didn't want the vegan option, so I went with the burger, and that's when back to the burgers. The burger was just not good.
yeah.
Man, maybe that's my fault. I don't know.
Matthew, you got something that
Hmm.
sucks?
Since we're on the topic of food, I have
Okay,
a restaurant that I want to. I've got a bone to pick with.
let's go.
There is a restaurant that if you don't have a reservation and you feel like doing a sit down, it will always be available, and there's a reason why. It's because it
Oh,
sucks,
yeah.
and it has so much potential. I think you guys know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The
Is it
Riverbell
Riverboat?
Terrace.
Yep.
Welcome to Trammin, Matthew. You are one
Thank
of
you.
us now.
Thank you. It's so sad. Like it has so much potential. Like I love the theming in there. I love that that it's like the location of it, like being right on like Adventureland, New Orleans Square. It just sucks. It's just the worst. Like all the food sounds so good. It really is such a trap.
Yes. It's like,
The
ooh,
food sounds
burnt
so
ends,
good,
grilled cheese, Nashville hot something,
and
and
then it's all just so bad. The only thing that is decent was they had a monkey bread there that was
yeah,
actually like pretty
yeah,
good.
that
Yeah,
one's actually good.
It was
I
actually
We,
good,
remember that.
we've
but
had it.
that's not enough to hold up a restaurant. And so I'm gonna say Riverbell Terrace sucks for food. And I feel like well, I could say two more things while we're in this realm
Yeah,
of food. Um, kind of related to the fantastic dining experience. I've never done this experience before because it just looks terrible, and also it has so much potential. And that's the Tomorrowland Skyline experience.
Ooh, 100%. 100%. I've done it.
this rain, right?
Oh, so you
Yeah,
did it?
I did it. I did it. And you're 100% right. I don't even like fireworks. I don't know why I chose to do it.
No, I know why. I know why. I know why. I'm gonna throw some shade at
All
you,
right,
Rain.
throw it, throw it, throw it.
You see an open reservation to something or like an open pre-order to buy something, you're like,
Do
ooh,
it. Do it. 100%.
push the
100%.
button. Yeah. Yeah, what food do they serve there? I'm still confused. There's
Bro,
like
they have like
cookies.
Jenga up there. Like, what are you doing?
Right. They do
like,
have Jenga.
like
Uh,
what?
I'm trying to think of what, I think it was last
It's just like
May.
little cookies and like
I imagine
macaroons
a
and like
Starbucks protein
berries.
box.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
yep, similar, similar.
It's
Think of
like
I'm
that.
come sit on the thing that was free and have a Starbucks protein box, but worse.
and like
Yeah.
not a very good view of fireworks that are often canceled and you can't see any projections.
And I don't think they pump the music?
I think
I
they
heard
might.
they
All right.
don't.
No?
I heard they don't.
Oh.
Look,
That's what I heard.
I gave away my passes to Brandy's cousin that was there. So I got the food. I hung out up there. I was like, "Oh, it's a nice view," and then we left.
Yeah, now you got Starview, so you're fine.
Yeah.
You're
Yep.
fine going up there. Yeah, these and they doing better. That's a whole other episode, guys. We won't get into what Disneyland should do better.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go next in Tomorrowland. Pixar in Tomorrowland. That's
Mm.
just
Mm.
It's
it's
everywhere now.
yeah. I'm not gonna get into the whole Tomorrowland should be this, and we've done that like 1,000 times. I know we could do a whole other episode on Tomorrowland sucks, but the Pixar specifically is just ridiculous. Alien Pizza Planet. It's not. It's a Chuck E. Cheese is
It
what it's
hurts.
supposed to be, and it's
It
not
hurts.
even that, right? It's
It's not
like
even.
if they had like a claw game in there, like there might be some redeeming quality, but there isn't. It's really bad food, right? The the outdoor area just kind of like melds with Space Mountain, which is weird. And then you got uh Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, which on its own is a fun little ride, but again, just like it's a ride about it's like there's a toy based on a cartoon that is now based off of a real person inside of a cartoon, and it's in Tomorrowland, and it's like a slimy ride with like old systems that takes up just a building with probably some potential. But the worst is the Pixar dance party. I hate the Pixar dance party. This could have been a Tomorrowland dance party, and you could have had some funky characters there, but no, it's just straight up Pixar Fest
Hey, Alex.
decor. Yeah. Uh, Pixar Fest like theming, which is Pixar Fest was fun at the time, but like same
It was fun.
theming, and the characters are there. Like Jesse and Woody are cowboy toys in Tomorrowland on a
Wow.
stage that had cool artists. Like Elvis impersonators made more sense somehow in Tomorrowland than the Pixar dance party. I'm not saying you got to get rid of the dance party and then kids can't do anything. Just like Pixar in Tomorrowland, it really is okay. I'm trying to think because Disney does this with something else where they just dump things in an area, and I'm not entirely sure. Oh, it's kind of like Hollywoodland, right? It's just like, we'll just throw it in stage 17, right?
Yeah.
Just put it in the
Mhm.
corner. And like, I love Anaheim Ducks Day, but it's like, where should we just put it in Hollywoodland? Just bleh.
It's
You
the
just barf things out into Tomorrowland.
it's the miscellaneous area.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's the most,
Yeah, anything goes area.
yeah. And I don't even know, there wouldn't be a better miscellaneous area except maybe even the Small World area or Fantasyland Theater, but it's just like, yeah, Tomorrowland, supposed to be this clean, pristine, cool, futuristic thing, and they're just Pixar, which we already have it, George. It's Pixar Pier. Like, we don't need two of these.
And we didn't need that either.
True. But, we do have it, so we don't need even more. I mean, Pixar isn't even contained to Pixar Pier in the other park. So I don't know. I don't know what it is, but is Pixar's not even the golden goose that it used to be, right? Like, aren't they?
I'm hoping that this Elemental, I think Elemental's Pixar, right? That
It
it
is.
comes,
Yeah.
It is.
yeah, that it comes out and is a banger and it's great, because I didn't like the Buzz Lightyear movie, but ever since, I don't know, it's been a while since there's been something really really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like,
feel like the last one that like really like hit was Coco. And
Yeah,
ever since
100%.
then, everything has either been like that was all right or like that wasn't it.
I
I feel like
forget
Coco
that.
is the last like banger. And the problem is that like in Coco even kind of suffers from this problem too. The Pixar the Pixar like recipe is like out there. Like everyone knows like what you're gonna get into with a Pixar movie.
Oh
Like
yeah.
two partners are gonna go out. It's like you can like just predict it like a mile away, and it's like it sucks because their what's the word I'm looking for? Not recipe.
Formula.
Their formula. The Pixar formula is just such a solid formula. It's such a good formula, and like the problem is like they just did it too well, too many times. That's honestly why like I just look back at those Toy Story movies and I'm like, man, like those really are like the best of the bunch because like they made the first one and that started the formula, and then the other two were like complete reinventions of the formula and like managed to top one and the other without like backpedaling on anything. It's just crazy.
Right.
Like imagine making a movie, right? Where like Woody is like, the lesson in the first one is like, hey Woody, you gotta learn to share the people that you love, with someone. And then the second movie is like, okay, now Woody, now you have to learn to face your mortality. It's like, okay, so then where do you go from that? And then they somehow made a third one
Yeah.
that also had like a profound lesson to it too. Like if you love someone, the best thing you can do is let them go. What? And then they still made a fourth one that like wasn't even a bad movie. It was not even bad, and it still was able to build out something like so crazy. But yeah, it's just like what's funny about the Pixar and Tomorrowland thing is that as someone who is like a huge fan of Yesterland, I literally have it pulled up right now on on my computer. The original Do you guys know what was the first time that they had Pixar in Tomorrowland and why they had it in Tomorrowland?
Hmm.
Like the first time they did it?
Yeah, the first time that they featured a Pixar property and what it was.
And it's not here now?
It's not here now.
I
Hmm.
have a feeling it's a movie.
Like they played a movie.
Yeah, at the theater. No. Okay,
Close, but no.
what is it?
So what it was it was called, and I'll pull it up. It's called like the Toy Story Playhouse. I think is what it was called.
Hmm.
But you have to think back in '95, they counted Toy Story as fitting in Tomorrowland because CGI movie
Yeah.
was like
Ah,
so futuristic. It's just so
yeah,
funny that like you would not look at Toy Story and think like technology.
right.
Quite the
Yeah.
opposite, actually, especially that first movie. But yeah, they literally were like, "Wow, this is such a groundbreaking movie." It makes sense that it's featured in Tomorrowland and not like Frontierland, you know. But yeah, it was like a live stage show.
Huh.
Yeah, I'll
That's
pull
pretty
up the
funny.
name. I think it was called Toy Story Playhouse. Yesterland. Toy Story Funhouse
Fun
and
house.
Ham's All Doll Review.
Wow.
That's what it was called.
All right.
Nice.
Okay. Rain.
All right, now since we're still on Pixar and we're still on Tomorrowland, the submarines. I despise everything about this ride, man.
I totally forgot that that's Pixar and Tomorrowland. Yeah.
Yep.
Keep
Yep,
it going.
100%. Look, I wish it was still the original, regular submarines. We were just seeing like statues within the water, blah blah blah. I could probably even stomach that for, the stinky feet smell that you get every time you go in there. But the Finding Nemo thing, I don't know, just it doesn't do it for me at all. That area, the best use of that area is literally to take a picture of the water next to the Matterhorn. That's the best thing that you can do in that area with, with some kind of kinetic energy with the subs. But actually as a ride, I do not like that ride at all.
Yeah, we almost went on it because we thought like, let's do it short wait. Anything short of a walk on, it's just not
No, that's not
happening.
it. It's not it.
Yeah, I can't. And I mean, at this point, would like Little Mermaid be better there? Like
See, I don't know if the subs as a ride system could do anything better. I don't know.
the
I don't know.
problem is it goes underground
Yeah,
beyond the lagoon so far, and it's a slow moving ride, so it's like long. Like what you can't. The lagoon takes up a bunch of space, but the ride itself kind of doesn't.
yeah,
So it's like, what else could you do? Fill it in like Magic Kingdom, and then there's nothing there.
right,
Right?
right. I
So
mean, knock that down, knock Autopia down, and Innoventions down, and then you got a big area, and then
okay,
you can put one coaster.
I'm not gonna argue for Autopia staying,
Yeah,
but when I was a passenger the other day, it's kind of nice to look around there. Like I understood why we all thought we were gonna have like some Star Wars speeder chase through Endor. It would work. It's
yeah,
forested enough to work
yeah.
if you're like low to the ground, whatever. But yeah,
God, what an era that was when that
when
like
we
one
thought like
concept art came out, and when we
Mm.
all were like, "This is
yeah,
it. They're gonna put a giant Death Star spaceship Earth in the center,"
yeah,
and we all actually bought it.
okay.
I love the subs.
Do you
What?
really?
I would literally like. There's like no other like ride that I would like tie my body to like the front of, like if it was gonna close down, because Walt made it. Walt made that ride system. Like Walt had his hands on that ride system, and name one ride that has that ride system. I'll wait.
Oh, like just funky submarine that's not a
Going underwater.
submarine and all that
Yeah,
kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
going
That's true.
underwater. Because people even will say like, "Well, Tokyo Disney Sea." Nope, that doesn't go underwater.
Yeah. We
20,000
don't.
Leagues. They fake it. They fake it, making it look like it goes underwater, but it doesn't.
Okay.
There's not a single ride in the world that has that ride system, and for that, it is one of a kind Disneyland. And Yeah, it would totally be a million times better if it was a different story than Finding Nemo. But I do think that that ride has one of the best moments in any Disneyland ride, and it's right at the very end when you're cruising into the dock and they're playing Beyond the Sea,
Hmm.
and you're just vibing. That is a
Okay,
vibe. That is a whole vibe that no other ride matches, and I love that.
I do want to say two things though. It never dives, right? But I believe that there are scenes where the water is only like a foot or two in front of you, and then it stops, and it's not like the scenes are actually dry.
Yeah, where there's just like a
Closed.
little like wall or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, which is kind of like probably where Tokyo Disney Sea was like, we could just put that in the window instead of actually putting the vehicle there.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, but i- if you had to theme it or untheme it, what would you do? If you're
Atlantis.
gonna keep this ride forever, right? I know things retheme all the time, but what would you do?
I would do what they were going to do, which is turn it into an Atlantis ride
Yeah.
Mm,
before it bombed.
right. Yeah, that would be way cooler because it would be because Atlantis is futuristic. They
Yeah,
have,
Right. That works actually.
you
retro futuristic even, which like
know,
to this day I'm like, what is gonna be the move with Tomorrowland? Are they gonna
I
go
think
full like super crazy futuristic sci-fi whatever, or like like I like in November went to Disneyland Paris's Tomorrowland, and I love how they did theirs, where they just committed to being like, you know what, it's all just retrofuturism.
That's like the Jules Verne stuff, right?
Yeah, the Jules Verne, H.G. Wells vision of the
Yeah.
future.
yeah, maybe they could put us in something speedier, sportier than a sub, like a tuna. All right, if anyone got that, right in.
That's a good one.
Matthew, you love the subs, so you must now pay the toll. What do you hate?
Okay. I wrote down another thing to share. Going back to foods, the line at Rancho del Zocalo, I don't understand how after all of these years they have not put one cast member out there to go, "Hi, what do you want to order? Oh, just a single horchata? Get over in this line. Come
Yeah, for
inside.
sure.
You do not have to wait in this hour-long line. Walk past all these people. What do you
Kimmy,
want? A salad? Walk past this line of people. This line is just for tacos."
Kimmy
Like,
and
how
I,
have they
yeah,
not put a cast member out there? Just one. You literally just need one to go, "What are you ordering? Go this way. Go inside. Go inside. Go inside." It is ridiculous that like you can't order anything because like let's say you do want tacos, you're screwed because if you want tacos, you have to wait in line for the hundreds of people that think that they're in line for salads and burritos and horchatas and conchas and anything else for them to get up to the window, go, "Huh? Oh, it's over here? My bad." And then you just wasted an hour of time that you didn't need
Right.
to. Otherwise, you look like the jerk when you cut everyone in line because you know what's up.
yeah. I
It's just a
didn't know that.
horrible situation.
I didn't know the taco salads were part of that because I mobile ordered the taco salad last time.
They're part
But
of the long line?
yeah, they're
Oh.
not.
Oh, they're not. They're not.
According to
Okay.
what Matthew's saying right now. But I did learn that yeah, the desserts are their own thing. So during Sweethearts Night, we just wanted that cute dulce de leche, uh, cactus succulent thing, and we just like walked right past. We just double checked with the cast member to make sure like everyone's cool. But yeah, but I thought you were gonna say something else, Matthew,
What did you think I was going to say?
because I'm gonna say it.
Go off.
Rancho del Zocalo sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know how it
Yeah.
sucks so bad. Like I've had interesting things there. I've had sopes, I've had huarache and stuff, but like how? Okay, like how do you mess this up? No offense, Mexican food's pretty easy to make and like
And look where
pretty
you're at, dude.
easy. Yeah, pretty easy to get like I'm gonna
I
say
know, for
human
real.
resources going to serve and cook and create great Mexican food. Like what's going on? It's
Yeah.
like it's not I like what's weird is the flavors aren't good. Like
I
Chipotle
know.
doesn't taste like Mexican food, but it almost tastes better. Almost. Like
Yeah.
there is
Truly.
just it's so bland there. Like Taco Bell ground beef has more flavor than the beef at Rancho del Zocalo. Like it's weird. And what Fritos were invented there, and they paid someone for the taco salad recipe or something like that. Like
Yeah.
no. It was
It's
something
the
else, but they
Doritos, no?
no. So that's what I meant. Doritos were invented
Yeah.
there, but the taco salad was invented there. The thing that went in the taco salad was paid for. But yeah, they were invented there. Like the taco shell bowl,
Yeah.
and it's like you can't just make some good Mexican food. Like, just get some skirt steak and put some freaking taco powder on it and cook it in a skillet, and it's gonna taste better than whatever's going
You're
on there.
good to go.
I don't understand. And it's
Bro,
like,
and they load that kitchen up with Latinos. They
yeah,
load it up.
yeah,
But it's all a facade because they're not really touching the food. Because if they were touching the food, you would taste the difference.
You would take 100%.
yeah.
You would taste the difference.
I don't understand it one bit. It's just not good at all.
The one
And
thing that is good is everything in the last window, the desserts. I
yeah, the
do like their
desserts,
horchatas. I think that
yeah,
their horchatas are good.
they got
They're
that
like
creaminess to
super.
them.
They're just super sweet and like
Yeah.
not super grainy. Which like I'm like picky about like graininess in my horchatas, which is very what's the word? It's very uh I can't think of the word. Like it's contradictory. Like
Okay, I do have an horchata question for you.
yes.
I argue with people about this. Should there be milk in horchata?
Hmm.
I always
Um,
say no. It's rice milk. That's the point.
I mean, it depends because, like,
Straight
for
horchata, not
example,
like an horchata drink or latte or whatever. Just straight.
yeah, sure, if you're having like classic like Mexican horchata, but like for example, like Salvadorian horchata, is used with like you use like a morto powder, and then you use like milk or water, and you pour the
Mm.
powder in and you stir it like that. So like there are lots of different ways to do
Of
horchata, but of
course, of
course, if
course.
you're doing like OG Mexican, like a classic one, I feel like yeah, putting in milk is like a cop out. It's like you
Yeah.
should be able to do it right without the milk.
I've actually heard like Mexican people say like, "No, my mom always puts milk." I'm like, that doesn't make it like you. No offense, I say
Yeah,
this as just a straight Armenian person. You don't speak for like Mexican culture
right.
because oh, my mom did it. Okay, well, my mom changed recipes too because we like it that way. But like, I don't know. That's the thing I just always get mad about. But it's like it's hard to argue with people because it's like I'm not Mexican at all, so I can't really. It's like a race splaining, It's like
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
can't.
yeah. I don't know. Like my opinion on it is like, does like putting milk into horchata like automatically make it bad? No,
No, but it
but
often when milk is added to things, it takes away from like the flavor of the thing, and like
totally,
horchata's good because it tastes like rice and cinnamon. Like
yeah.
the more milk there is, the less ricey it is, and now it's like cinnamon milk, which could be good,
Yeah,
but
that like nuttiness
yeah,
is what you need 100%.
I like it with almond milk.
that's
That
that's
makes sense
almost
because it's nutty.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
And I
almost
make I
see.
make my my horchata, my Salvadorian horchata with oat milk. That's how
Mm.
my family does it because it makes it like really creamy, but then
Yeah.
doesn't take away from the nuttiness.
I'm not entirely sure how oat milk is made, but almond milk is basically almond horchata because it's water and ground up thing, right?
And
Or like
so
Right.
soaked and whatever. So yeah. Yeah, I think Rancho del Zocalo, it absolutely boggles my mind how it's so bad.
I did not like that cold brew at all. The
I don't
horchata cold brew.
oh really?
I
Yeah.
like their we had their chocolate flan one day. Oh, the
I
day I ran into
Choco
Matthew and
flan
Freddie.
hits, man.
Dude, it was good.
Choco flan.
Man, you know what they had? That was pretty banging a couple years ago. They had a pan dulce ice cream sandwich.
Ooh,
Mm.
That
that
hit.
sounds good.
It was good, and also it was like really fun. It was like neon, like bright pink and blue. The concha.
Nice. Okay, who I I pulled from Matthew's thing. So, it's back to me again anyway, or is it Rain's turn? What do you think?
Mm. No, it's back to you.
Okay. Let's most of the food sucks, right? So we'll keep it there. Hot dogs suck at Disneyland. Hot dogs, not corn dogs. Hot dogs.
Yeah, corn
Who's
dogs are
buying
banging.
a hot dog?
I saw a guy, dude. I saw a guy a couple days ago, which
Bro,
is straight up
what?
hot dog.
Like an angry dog. Like, what's the point? You
I
really
love
gotta.
I've heard
spicy.
people say that the angry dogs are good. I don't believe them, and I don't need to try it because I just know that they're wrong.
Yeah, like what you really got a hankering for a hot dog right now? Like,
And go, sometimes I do, dude, but I go to Portillo's, down the street,
yeah, I don't understand the hot dog thing.
not at Disneyland.
It's
No.
we got
You got
Dodger
corn-
dogs. There's
You got
huh?
corn dogs.
Like, just get a
Yeah.
corn dog. Like, if you have a
Yeah.
hankering for a hot dog, get a corn dog.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, and the funny thing is the corn dogs are like phenomenal. Like they're in the
Yeah.
upper echelon of corn dogs of the world.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why anyone would buy a hot dog. I also don't know why anyone would buy a turkey leg.
Yeah,
Beyond-
I do. Okay, my curiosity
Beyond the
though, is
novelty or
killing
nostalgia.
me. My curiosity is like killing me right now because I really want to try the Buffalo Ranch one, the turkey leg. I want to
Okay.
try it. I want to try it.
Hey,
Okay.
that's a thing right now.
Yeah, it's been a thing for like I want to say like a few
Buffalo
months.
Ranch or just Buffalo?
So it's
Is it at Troubadour Tavern?
it's no, I think it's at the one that's I think it's Edelweiss Snacks has
Mm.
it. And what I believe what it is it's actually like just buffalo sauce soaked turkey
Yeah,
leg, but
it
then
is.
you can get ranch on the side
Got
to
it.
drizzle on top and to add to your bites and stuff like that.
That might help
like-
if they chill out on the liquid smoke for Buffalo,
Yeah, I'm scared to try it, but I do really want to try it.
It's like a giant hot wing.
Have y'all been seeing? You guys been seeing the? I think it was just one. Maybe I saw another TikTok, but people were bringing in tortillas. Or no, they were getting. I think they were getting tortillas from Rancho del Zocalo, and then going over and getting turkey legs, like cutting
just-
it like al pastor into the tortillas, and making Disneyland turkey leg tacos as their lunch.
Nice.
I feel like they taste really good in those Ziploc El Pollo Loco tortillas. There's something about those that's good with the chicken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just,
so
why
good.
would anyone want, like, besides nostalgia, or they've never had one? Like, you really like, I want a turkey leg right now. That's gonna satisfy me. It's not.
I know a couple people that legitimately enjoy it. It looks disgusting, smells disgusting, but hey, teach his own.
Dude, there was one time where I got a turkey leg like back in high school, and man, I could not stop farting like all day with all my friends, and they were all making fun of me.
Oh my
They were
God.
like, "Oh, it stings! Oh, it's a turkey leg again." They were like pointing and laughing at me in line, and like it was like all day it was like that. And then I remember one of my friends that made fun of me like 6 months later. She came to me and she was like, "Oh my God. By the way, I need to tell you, I had a turkey leg the other day when I was with my family, and we went into the haunted mansion. I could not stop farting, and I thought of you. I was like, oh my God, I feel so bad." We laughed at Matt, but he was suffering. I was like, yeah, dude, they're crazy.
So you're forever affiliated with stinky turkey leg farts.
Yeah,
is
ripping
what you're saying.
booty because I ate a turkey leg, dude. And that's all I can think of. Anytime I see someone eating a turkey leg, I'm like, all right, time to get in front of them.
All I could think of is an unnamed friend throwing up turkey leg.
Oh.
Oh
yeah.
God.
So
All
I'll
right,
just,
next topic. Next topic.
next topic. Rain.
All right, is it
You
me?
hate.
It's me. Okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna not do a couple of these. Okay. Well, we're still on food because we keep talking about food. I'm gonna talk about another restaurant that I have a big problem with. Blue Bayou.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. Last couple times I went.
At 8:45, 15 minutes before they closed.
Not the last time I went, but
Okay.
2 times ago.
Okay.
I just constantly feel like servers do not care you're there. You get your food essentially thrown at you. The quality of the food to me has completely gone down. I
It
got
is at rock bottom right now.
it is 100%.
It has been going down,
Yeah.
and I went. A friend of mine had like always wanted to go, and he had never been. And I was like, dude, we should go. And like did so many things to get in. We finally went in like 2 months ago, and
Mhm.
we were appalled. And I was like, dude, this is officially like rock bottom. Like I don't know how it can get worse than how it is right
Yeah.
now. You know that a restaurant sucks when we asked for Parmesan cheese at an expensive sit-down restaurant in the middle of Disneyland, and they brought us craft packets. Craft
Parmesan.
packets.
Parmesan.
I was like,
Oh, man.
oh, this is it. Like it's done. Close the restaurant. We need to start over.
Dude, like, I mean, the least they can do is have the Monte Cristo be available for dinner.
For real.
That's the very least they can do. And they give it to you with that side salad. And I am a connoisseur of side salads. I love my side salads, and that is an absolute garbage side salad. So I don't know. I'm so over Blue Bayou now. Even if I see a reservation, I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to do it. Last
Cafe
time I went,
Orleans gets the job done better.
it does 100%, 100%.
Cafe Orleans, I feel like, has gone up. I feel like
Yeah.
it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Cafe Orleans is on the up. Every time I've gone recently, I'm like, oh my god, this is like the best thing here. Like I had a Caesar salad there that I was like mind blown by.
Yeah,
They
Cafe
got me
Orleans
eating
used to be-
anchovies, dude. That's how good it is. They got me eating anchovies. I never eat anchovies.
Oh, anchovies are good in moderation. But
Yeah.
yeah, Cafe Orleans used to be like whatever. It was all
Whatever.
about the fries, and they don't even make the fries that way anymore. They make them better.
They make it
Monte
better.
Cristo is ridiculous. Kimmy got the steak with the chimichurri that everyone's doing now. Steak free is like the new short rib at every restaurant on earth.
Yeah. Yep.
And like I had a creme brulee there, and it was really good. Like, yeah, Cafe Orleans has stepped it up. I haven't been to Blue Bayou in a while.
Don't go.
Yeah, last time I went, I got some like seafood pasta. It was actually decent, but I have seen pictures and heard terrible things about Blue Bayou.
Dude, last
You're-
time I went, I went with Ricardo and Karina, and we were so excited to go. We were like, we're all hungry. We all want something. We can't wait, to be near the water. I mean, even if we're not near the water, at least in the vicinity, they sat us at the first table when you walk in.
Oh, dude, that's the worst.
I was
That
like,
is
"Oh,
actually
God."
the worst. You can hear
Yeah.
the kitchen. Everyone's
Yep.
coming in and out. And then it's, if you go during the daytime, light leak.
Yeah.
It's actually like the worst dining experience you could have at any sit-down restaurant at Disneyland is that table at Blue Bayou. And also, I feel like, yeah, exactly. Like you will be forgotten about. Like the servers will forget you exist if you sit at that table. The only two things going for Blue Bayou to this day that have not dropped in quality at all, and that's the lemonade
Fair.
and the little gumbo, the little cup of gumbo.
You know what? I got that.
But they
last
have
time.
it at Cafe Orleans.
Okay.
But they have it at Cafe Orleans, so it's like it's not even like a reason to go.
That gumbo was good. I do agree.
That little gumbo hits.
Yeah.
They know
Cafe Orleans.
they have to know Blue Bayou is just a bucket list thing.
It is.
They don't even care.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, just my mom is not a snooty person. She's the opposite of a snooty person. But if a bunch of us go to a restaurant and they sit us by the kitchen, she'll ask them to move us. It's like, hey, it's really loud here. Can we not? Like the open kitchen places, not the places with a door, like you hear it, like the places there's like the piece of glass and it's just like, shoo, 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 shoo. And she's like, can we, if it's a full restaurant, whatever, right? But when it's like empty restaurant and they lead you all the way through and like you're sitting by the kitchen, it's like, why? But yeah. Okay. Matthew, what sucks? Okay, listen. If something is grossly overrated, I want to know. What
Blue
is it?
Bayou was on my list.
Nice.
Blue Bayou was on my list for sit down. Most
'Cause
overrated sit down. I would
you might say
that
something's
is the
overrated.
most overrated sit down.
And we might believe it sucks. What is it? Give us another one.
Okay, another one. You were talking about it earlier.
Okay,
And
you know what? I'm
because
gonna
I'm
say
a
this.
jerk, I wrote it down and I was like, I'm gonna say this for the end. I was like, you know what? I don't have a section for merch.
Okay, let's get into
I'm
merch.
sorry to
All
do
right,
it to
all
you,
right.
but Spirit jerseys are the most overrated piece of merch at
No, for
Disneyland
sure.
because of mainly two things, right? Because like obviously like designs. Actually, no, three things I'm gonna say. Designs are subjective, but I will say that objectively, like if I'm going to buy a big kooky piece of merchandise that's freaking Star Wars or Mickey Mouse or whatever, put the design on the front. I want to proudly display that design on the front. Too many Spirit jerseys are putting the design on the back, so that's one. Two, they feel horrible in my opinion. They actually feel like the worst fabric most of the time when it's just that like cardboardy, like super stiff, not soft at all material, and it's always those that are like overpriced. And to me, it's just like, look, man, like there are just so many other. Like they did blow up the whole Spirit jersey thing. I gotta give credit where credit is due because now Spirit jerseys are such a thing, and there are great ones. There are great ones, but I don't see people wearing the good ones. People always are wearing the awful ones. That I'm like, I know that you overpaid for the worst fabric and for the worst designs.
So, only reason I'm going to agree with you is because there was like a downfall of Spirit jerseys. When they first started, there was like 3 of them, right? There was like a pink one, there was the black one, and like some furry one, and then one for kids. And rose gold, which, that was its own thing.
Right.
I have the Tiki Room Spirit jersey. And I think they did 4 for
Like
attractions.
attraction ones, right? Yeah.
The worst one was It's a Small World. It was just very meh. The Pirates one was decent, had the stripes. Haunted Mansion, had the print. But I actually think the Tiki Room Spirit jersey is the best Spirit jersey because it is green. Mine is very soft. This one is not as soft. This is 3 years newer than the other one. The Tiki Room one was one of the first where people are like, "Where'd you get that?" I'm like, "The
I
store."
do love that one.
Yeah.
The Tiki one's great.
The front patch, this one's actually embossed or whatever, but that one, I think it's Jose, so it's not the D. And the full bottom half is a crazy tiki print with all the birds and the background and whatever. So it's like a full design. And the Disneyland in the back is the Tiki Room font. And it was back before they started putting Disneyland all the way to the sleeves because Walt Disney World does that, which never made sense for us. But yeah, I think Spirit jerseys were great. And then they got lazy with them. And I haven't felt a new one either, right? This is even like a little bit old. But yeah, I remember the Tiki Room one was super soft, flowy, and comfortable. Where like if it didn't have the big patch on the back and I didn't want to ruin it, I would just wear it at home. Because I know people who do that. And people still talk about the OG black one. Where they're just
People
like,
still wear it.
I love that thing. Yeah.
Matthew, do you know about my Cholo theory?
Let me hear this. What's up?
So, I have a theory. Well, not really a theory, more of like a way of life.
Yeah.
That every time something gets really popular, it starts with your niche group, and then it goes into the masses. But once it hits the Cholos, I'm out. And Spirit jerseys have officially hit the Cholos.
Dude, yeah, like the Fool's Gone Disney.
Yeah. Oh, you'll see those Spirit jerseys.
I've been seeing a lot of Spirit jerseys on Fool's Gone Disney. I feel like what it is it's all the homies that like are now like are old enough that like they have families and they have the kids and the kids want to go to Disney.
Yeah.
But then the wife like wants to dress up in the Mickey ears, and so that's the consolation. Is like
100%.
Okay, I'll get a Spirit jersey.
100%.
It's like, oh, I don't want Disney merch. They sell oversized things that are supposed to be oversized.
I'm looking at one right now. You know what goes hard? I'm on Food's Gone Disney. Someone's wearing an East LA Spirit jersey. That goes hard. That actually goes hard.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna check that
out. Speaking of I feel like I was remembering something with merchandise.
So
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'll say merch these days sucks. There was a little golden age of merch, I would
What was I
say.
gonna say? Yeah.
Okay, you say your thing. We can come back to this.
Okay, real quick. What I was gonna say is, if we're talking about merch, something that sucks is Haunted Mansion merchandise, particularly the colors that they're choosing for Haunted Mansion merchandise. They make
Mm.
no sense at all. It's like they absolutely refuse to just make black, green, and purple merch. They're like, what if it was lilac? And what if it was white? And what if it was blue? It's like, why? Why is the merchandise blue? Like, what are you doing? Just do the colors that are in the ride. Just do the colors that make sense. Like, it's so frustrating because the designs that they're doing are not that bad. It's the problem is like it's the colors is so weird. It's almost like they're like afraid that if they use the proper colors, it'll look like Hot Topic merch. But it's like,
Hot
well,
Topic isn't even that anymore. Like,
what?
just do
Yeah,
it. There is a whole freaking Bats Day. Goth and emo has not died. If anything, those people all have money now. Like, like the people who are our age, and we were not the goth generation. Like, but it's like everyone who is currently goth can afford goth things. So
Right.
it's like, just do it. Especially because they do freaking. I mean, let's just say right now, Nightmare Before Christmas sucks. In the parks, it's like it's everywhere, right? And
yeah,
they get so much merch,
so much.
and it's like, okay, how on the Haunted Mansion topic, how is there not more merch for rides?
No,
Like,
you want to hear something abysmal? When I went to Disneyland Paris, there was maybe like 3 pieces of Phantom Manor merch. And then
Wow.
everything else was the awful Haunted Mansion merch that I'm talking about right now.
just hours? Like,
Yes.
huh?
That's
Yes.
surprising.
We
Yes.
get freaking Walt Disney
I
World
was in
merch.
Paris. Yeah, right? Like that makes sense. But Haunted Mansion isn't in Disneyland Paris in any way, shape, or form. It's Phantom Manor. It's a completely different ride with a completely different storyline, a completely different characters, completely different aesthetic. And literally all they had was like a making up book and then like 2 pins. And I was like, oh my God,
Wow.
what? I don't understand. The one thing that did go hard though was you know how they made that Haunted Mansion shirt that looks like a skeleton, and then in the center is the Hotbox Ghost, and he's supposed to kind of be like the nose holes for the skull. Like, do you guys know
No
what I'm
clue.
talking about?
No.
They've had it for a while, and it kind of comes and goes off the shelves, but like it's really cool. It's a black shirt, and it's supposed to be like when you look at it from afar, it looks like a skull, like almost like a Sid from Toy Story, like his shirt.
Mm.
But then when you look up close, it's like the top is trees and the graveyard, and then there's the gate, and you can see the
Huh.
Haunted Mansion off in the distance. They did a version of that design for Phantom Manor, and I thought it was cool, but
Oh, that is cool.
not cool enough to get merch.
Yeah. There was a time there was like a Matterhorn shirt, and it looked like just like a climbing shirt. If that, like it had like mining things and like pickaxes and whatever, not climbing. And that was like the only, Space Mountain every now and then kind of gets something. And then
Mhm.
we have like odd people mover merch. But yeah, there isn't like Disneyland merch. It's a lot of characters and terrible catchphrases. And there was 2017, I'm just gonna say in general was a decent time. Uh in like
Merch wise?
merch wise, Disney wise, like cool things you could do. And there was I'm trying to think, like Christmas time, like the merch was I think the merch used to be better during Christmas. Things were higher quality. But yeah, it's things are I don't have a desire to ever buy anything at Disneyland while I'm there. And I used to go look for the new merch constantly.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, what am I even looking in this store for?
I used to be the pin guy.
Yeah.
And then pins to me are just absolutely dead. Like absolutely dead. If I see a Chernobog pin, if I see a Goofy movie pin, and they're putting out so much Goofy movie movie merch
lot.
now, it's kind of annoying at this point. But I got like hundreds and hundreds of pins, but I'm out. I'm good. I'm good. I don't need them anymore.
I just texted something into our little group chat that we have with each other. I don't want you guys to look at it yet. I want you guys to look
Oh.
at it as I wrap up this little story. But I want to tell you
Okay.
guys about the worst piece of Nightmare merch I've ever seen was years and years and years ago. I think it was like around like 2015, 2016. I went with a buddy of mine to Disneyland, and he was looking around at like all the Nightmare merch, and he picks up these Jack Skellington fingerless gloves.
Yes.
The fingerless gloves. Let's go.
He picks up these Jack Skellington fingerless gloves, and he goes, "Dude, look what it says." And I was like, "Bone Daddy?" And he flips it over, and I read out a word that is so inappropriate, that is so dark. And literally, I was like, "Oh my God, it looks like it exactly says that word."
Oh wow! And that's what you
And
texted us.
and
So
it's what I texted you. And I swear to God, a week later I went and they were gone. I've never seen them again. And if I could find them, I'm sure I can. I'm sure if you literally look up Bone Daddy fingerless gloves, you will see. I could probably send it into the group chat with you
let
guys.
me
But
see.
yeah, I remember like just being so appalled.
Oh yeah, I see it. It's
Yeah.
like it's a really bad font.
Yeah, it's not bone. It's not bone that's the problem when you flip it upside down. It's
Jeez.
Daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I think and they also made they made a beanie, but the beanie doesn't look like it says that word. The gloves do.
I mean, I'm sorry, but any fingerless gloves, just like get out of here. I don't need them. It's not even. I'm so tired of Nightmare Before Christmas. We don't even need to talk more about Nightmare Before Christmas, Haunted Mansion. Like it sucks, and
Yeah.
we get less and less regular Haunted Mansion as time goes on, which is insane to me.
As long as they keep making more mayor merch to make my girlfriend happy, then I will allow it. Because the mayor is I think her top favorite fictional character of all time from Nightmare.
Nice.
It's just the invasion that bothers me. But yeah,
I see on your list, to segue, I see on your list that you talk about complaining about the Disneyland app. And I do
Okay.
have a complaint about the Disneyland app.
It's so I wasn't going to specifically complain about the app because we've complained about the app so much, but we can get into it. For me, it's using an app at all, even if it's good. It's just, you know what? Let's do your thing first, and we'll come back because this is a whole
Sure.
other topic.
So
I
my
forgot
thing is very specific. It is such a simple feature that would be so helpful if they added it. And if anyone was like, "How would you fix Disneyland?" I'd be like, "Actually, let's talk about your app first. Put this feature into your app. This would be the easiest thing to just. It would just make things so much better." Have you guys ever used Yelp?
Yeah.
Yes.
Best part about using Yelp, or one of the best parts about using Yelp, is that you can filter by open time. You can literally select like what is going to be open, what is open right now, or what is going to be open at 5:30 p.m., 6 a.m., etc. Do that for the Disneyland app because I'm so sick and tired of having to click on every restaurant at 9 p.m. and go, "This one's closed. This one just closed 5 minutes
Yeah.
ago. This one,
100%.
we're not going to make it. This one. I should not have to click through every single restaurant and every single stand to see that, oh, if I want churros, I can't get them in Fantasyland, but I could get them in Tomorrowland because the Fantasyland closes at 8. But the Tomorrowland one stays open until 10:30, except for on Wednesdays. Cut it out.
It's so simple.
Just give me the times. You already have the times plugged into the app. They're already there.
And
Just give me a feature to search by the times.
We're already halfway there because of the new mobile order screen.
Yes.
The available now.
Yes.
It's like open now.
I thought the same thing when I saw that feature the other day. I was like, oh my God, look at this feature.
Or forget the filter because the filter takes forever too. Like you got to go to list, whatever. If you're on the list mode, right, it should just at the top open now. So
open now.
I know people are dumb, right? I know people are dumb, but open now implies there is a section called close now, where it's like, if people keep scrolling, they're going to see the bottom of the list where they're like, oh, I can't see this restaurant. And then they see closed before they see the restaurant name and get excited. And they go, oh, here's a list of closed things. Kind of like how I I know it's like sometimes or in certain things, there's like I think the attractions when it's closed for refurbishment, it's at the bottom of the list, right?
Yeah,
So it just
they'll plummet it to the bottom of the list.
yeah,
Also,
closed for the
Google
day.
and Yelp also have a feature of closing soon.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So if you
true.
want to slip into a ride that is about to close that you wouldn't realize that's about to close or whatever, like that should also be a feature. Closing soon. It
Yeah,
would
because
be
I think
so helpful, but the easiest thing. It's been years that we've had this app. I don't understand how we don't have the feature.
Yeah, go ahead, Rain.
there's certain rides that close at like 10 o'clock.
Hmm.
And there's so many times when I've gone to that ride, said ride at 10:30, and it's just like closed. It's like, all right. It just when you click it on the map, it doesn't necessarily say anything, right? It just on the actual map, it doesn't say temporary closed or now closed or whatever. It just says the name of the ride, which I guess is an indicator, but it should say now closed at the very least.
Yeah, what I thought you were gonna say, Matthew, with one of the best features of Yelp, pictures of the menu items. You
Yeah,
That
you have
too.
to go into mobile ordering to see what something looks like. And
yeah.
when you explain that to someone, which is what I'm gonna get into right now, they're like, "Wait, what? I don't want a mobile order." I'm like, "Just go there so you could see what it looks like, and then you can walk up." Because it's like the view menu section doesn't do anything. And
Yeah,
it's
it's not
not
like we're asking them to do more work. You already did the work. just,
yeah,
just
and
put it in the menu section too.
what's funny is you don't even like it's not like you're saving bandwidth by not loading pictures because the mobile order has the tiny thumbnail next to every item as you're scrolling. So it's like just do that without or even just have view menu and if you see something you like there's a little start mobile order button and then you can add it to your cart whatever, but that's a whole other episode. But what I kind of wanted to get into with the app is I think people are right. People who don't come to Disneyland that often, it's too complicated.
It
It's
is.
crazy the types of things you have to explain to people. Now, I will say, I've talked to a couple people who did do their research ahead of time. Like, I know someone who took his family, they go once a year. He researched Disney Plus, they buy it in the morning, individual lightning lane, yada, 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 right? He did all the stuff, and he is not a Disneyland person. Like, I told him what to eat and whatever, right? And I talked to him the week after, and he goes, "We had a great time. Great trip. We got on
Wow.
everything we wanted to do. Once we understood it, it was very easy, but there's like no onboarding process, right? It's a lot of things are like this where you open up something for the first time and you don't even know it works that way. Like I taught a lot of people about double tapping your space bar on the iPhone and it puts a period, a space, and capitalizes the next word.
I used to
And then
work at Apple and didn't know that.
yeah. I learned because I opened up like the iPhone manual, which is in iBooks, where if you like triple tap text, it pulls up a whole paragraph. But I had to go seek that out. There is no like, maybe a are you new here button, right? Like when it opens up and you're just like, I know more than you, and then it'll go away, right? Like Ron Swanson. But there isn't that. There is no really like how to use the app. And I feel like even if there was, it would be bad. But you have to use it and it's not very intuitive. And there's a bunch we've talked about how there's like that stupid home feed that is unhelpful. And I counted, and this is an underestimate. I have an iPhone 14 Pro, which is like the standard size of iPhone. If anything, people have the Max more. But, anyways, it is, if you count like from line to line, it is 8 pages until you get to the magic key portal. Like 8 full scrolls. I know that's not how you use a phone, but that's the only way I can count. And when you go in there, you can't really do much, right? You can't make the reservation, whatever. Like you can't even show the ticket. You got the fact that show ticket isn't a floating button is crazy to me.
Or that like so many things are just like it takes you out of the app and sends you to the website. Like
Yeah.
what?
Now,
Like that's crazy.
spoilers for an episode we're going to have in 2 weeks. I believe everything that pushes you to the website is because of the Galaxy ticketing system. You'll see it
Mm.
at the turnstiles where they use Galaxy. They have a whole back end from this company, Gateway Ticketing Solutions, that has food, that has retail, that has tickets, the ticket purchasing experience, as well as annual pass purchasing experience. That's all in a separate thing. And I have all these theories and whatever, but I believe that's why it's not fully integrated in the app. And we'll get to that in another episode. But it is
Interesting.
ridiculous that they have not done it by now,
Yeah.
especially because we've been full app since April 2021. And the one thing they could have done during the pandemic is software development. And like there wasn't like, oh, we had to send this person home for the whatever. They had infrastructure during the pandemic. They sent us all these weird Zoom backgrounds and whatever
You're right.
and added things to the app. So they were working on it. They could have done something, but they didn't. But speaking of the turnstiles, the pictures at the turnstiles kills me because every single person who isn't a pass holder needs one. And it really can just ruin a line. And what happens is when people are waiting to get the picture taken, they think this is a great opportunity to ask the cast member questions about my day. And then they try to get all this advice and they hold up the line, they complain about something. And we've said it before, but we need the silly fingerprint system, which Rain says is more or less flawless at Walt Disney World, but not universal. Uh,
As long as your fingerprint is good.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandy's is not and can never get into Universal.
yeah, but
Disneyland Paris is interesting because it's the Disneyland system, but entirely just technology. It's human free. So it's
Oh,
you
really?
walk into a little cage. It's like you're at TSA. Like it's like you're like going into
Huh.
like another country basically, where you walk up and then they go, all right, scan the ticket, like slide it through, and then they're like, look at the screen, you're good.
wow,
Wow.
like
And
face recognition.
so like no matter what, it's like always like scanning your face, like being like you're good, or like taking a photo of your face.
Mm.
And it's super efficient because it exactly gets rid of what you're saying, which is like, oh, let me talk. No, you're not talking. You are scanning, and then you are walking through, and then the next person is scanning and walking through.
Huh.
Yeah, I was gonna say like they can't. They will not say we can't answer questions. Please talk to the person past the turnstile. Disney won't do it.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
like we kind of need that. The only thing worse than the turnstiles is people asking questions at the parking booth. It's like, dude,
Oh, get out
you
of
gotta
here.
go.
oh yeah, no, you gotta
You
go.
gotta go.
You gotta go.
Like,
Yeah.
come on. There's people behind you, and you're not now. But th- actually, I forgot to put in. We have it so good, and it's not good. The fact that you have to use the app, and that listen, I have a 5G newest iPhone on Verizon. The app did not load my ticket in the parking structure the other day. And because I was all the way on the left, which I never go, and the guy saw the loading screen. He's like, "What pass do you have?" Inspire. He's like, "Go ahead." Like, you're good, dude. He didn't want to wait, and that's crazy. And I checked the
Good for
Wi-Fi.
him. Good for him.
Yeah, he knows.
Hmm.
No Yahoo knows the name of the pass. I barely know the name of my pass. Like it. So it's I have like the Wi-Fi auto connect and like just check the box and I'm good. There's no Wi-Fi in the parking structure. It's a giant concrete box. But
Yeah.
yeah, the app is just it's its own episode and it kind of technically is next time. But it's comically bad. But I feel like a lot of things are going that way recently.
Yeah.
Just like technology has gotten worse and everyone's like, "Oh, AI." I'm like, "You listen. No. It's not what you think it is." Okay. Does anyone want to go, or should I continue with the security bullet point?
You can continue on my end.
Matthew, you got anything yet, or you want to
I've got
keep this?
some.
You got something. All right.
It's gonna be a hot one. Um,
The show with hot questions and even hotter wings.
if you have ever paid to stay at any either all three of the Disneyland hotels, whether that be Paradise Pier, now turning into Pixar Hotel,
Please.
Grand Californian or Pixar Place, Grand California or a Disneyland Hotel, you've been conned because those rooms are horrible. And they're not even that convenient of hotels. They're truly not. Um, they are fun to walk into and visit for free, but I think that those rooms are so ugly and so disgusting. And if you compare them up to any 90% of the Walt Disney World hotels, they would be at the bottom of the list,
Yeah.
and they're more expensive than
Minus contemporary. That's ass.
minus contemporary. But they are more expensive than like all these other hotel rooms that are so much nicer. I'm not even going to get into like the amenities that are available or not available to you at said hotels, because that is part of my overrated little rant. But yeah, I think that the Disneyland hotel offering is actually garbage. It would only be okay if they were charging $100 a night per room.
So I stayed at the Grand Californian alone in 2016 for $450, which, hold on, it was going to be a courtyard room. However,
Hmm.
the only reason it was totally worth the 450 is they put me on the top floor facing Cars Land. And I was like, okay, because I'm looking at like ocean view rooms and like whatever hotels, that's how much it costs.
Yeah.
So that I get. However, that same room, I think even before the concierging is like 650. Now it's like crazy. Now
Yeah.
it's ridiculous because you can stay in a really good Westin for under $300 depending on when you go in other places. And Westin is like it's like Marriott level, like they call you
Yeah.
to make sure your room is okay type of place. So uh, yeah, I that the Grand Cal. Oh, and I stayed pre-remodel, so it was more. It w- but
Even
I
more dingier.
no, but like it had like the better green aesthetic, more woodsy, more like almost kitschy, but like cabiny. And now it's more corporate, right? More like it's plainer.
Yeah.
And I kind of tried to make the most of it where like I was up late at night wandering the hotel and it's kind of like, you got to act like a guest almost. But um, Disneyland Hotel is it feels so outdated. Uh,
So outdated.
even though they do all this stuff and it's like I walk on the ground level and I'm like, this isn't a resort.
No.
Especially like the main pool area, hub type of deal. Kinda like, I don't know. Is
It's
it
cute.
Yeah, it's cute. Well, the pool itself is fine and, like, Trader Sam's, of course, but,
Yeah.
like, I'm saying it's like the fantasy tower, like, just looking at the side of the building with, like, the benches and whatever, I'm like, "No, this isn't what it could be." But,
I,
And
what's up,
related
man?
to that, talking about Disneyland Hotel, if you want to hear something that I think sucks, that DVC tower.
huh,
And I'll tell you
I
why. I'll tell
look,
you
I
why.
have a pamphlet here about the DVC tower.
Let me tell you about this freaking DVC tower. So first of all, they just redid. I know we're complaining about like how the Disneyland Hotel looks. They just redid it to make it look like,
Like a
mid-century
popcorn
mod,
bucket?
kind of googie, kind of that style, classic Disneyland Americana. Like they did a really good job with the repainting of everything. Right as they were building this DVC tower, that completely goes against that aesthetic. That just looks like a nice modern Renaissance inn. Now, the other thing that is really frustrating about that DVC tower is the fact that you have the Fantasy Tower, you have the Adventure Tower, you have the Frontier Tower. Let's make the fourth tower generic Disney. Like, are you
Yeah.
kidding me? You were right there. Tomorrow Tower was right there. You would have completed Disneyland Hotel. You would have had the 4 OG lands.
That's
And
fair.
you fumbled. You completely fumbled the bag. That tower literally looks like it's supposed to be a Tomorrowland Tower too from the outside. It is sleek, it is modern, and worst of all, heard from a friend that was the original plan. Bob Chapek shot it down, and he also shot down part of that was going to be, hey, let's turn Steakhouse 77 into Captain Nemo's Lounge. So we lost that too.
Like Captain who?
Captain Nemo from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. They were going to
Oh,
turn Steakhouse 77 into a 20,000 Leagues freaking restaurant.
see,
And
like,
now we just get generic corporate Disney building that completely is a complete stark contrast to the rest of Disneyland Hotel.
while I
Biggest
don't,
missed opportunity.
while I don't believe Tomorrowland, I mean, they like should turn into Discoveryland as like forget the name even, just like that theme. If they were going to, right, you could have launched it with a steampunky hotel, right? Like, and it would have worked. You still call it Tomorrowland,
Totally.
and it's just like,
Totally.
hey, it's all you have to do to not name it Discoveryland, right? And you just if you want to go steampunk, a vision of tomorrow. That's it. It's a vision. It's a different vision of tomorrow. That's all you need. But yeah, I've always wondered about the Tomorrowland Tower thing. And yeah, what's funny is it's the tower is very generic. However, like I looked at it at night from like I could see some tiki torches and whatever, and the colors and everything worked. I haven't seen it during the day though. And it kind of was like, okay, I kind of get this. But also like they just painted everything blue and teal like the OG popcorn boxes. So it was kind of odd. Like, well, they're not going to rebuild the other towers. And is this to like, if this is some Chapek fingerprints, maybe it's like a class system of towers. Like you're in the fancy tower, it's the villas,
The
whatever that means,
villas. Yep.
right? That's what it's called. The villas
Yep.
at Disneyland Hotel. So yeah, I don't know. I don't ever it's like I want to do things in the Grand California Hotel, but I don't like crave staying there.
Yeah.
If that makes
Yeah.
sense. Like maybe I want to swim
Same.
there once or like have an event there, right? Or walk through there or sit in the lobby. But it's like I'm not like I got to stay here. And I think part of it is I haven't been to Wilderness Lodge, but I assume it has a feeling of seclusion that
It does.
the Grand
Listen,
Californian does not, because
listen.
anyone can walk through there.
Same guy was designer for Grand Californian, Aulani, Great Wilderness Lodge, and Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Same guy, really.
Same guy. Out of those
Makes
four,
sense.
Grand California. I've never been to Aulani, but I can just tell you straight up, Grand Californian is absolutely not even on the same level as the rest of those hotels. You telling me how much you paid for that one night Grand Californian breaks my heart, because you could get for roughly the same price one night at Animal Kingdom Lodge, where you are a minute shuttle ride to Animal Kingdom. Three of the best restaurants in the entire Walt Disney World Resort are in that hotel: Boma,
Yeah.
Chico, and Sanaa. And then on top of that, you can see animals from your room
Yeah, that's insane.
for the same price. And also the room's gorgeous. They just redid the room. It's absolutely gorgeous. It looks amazing. It's super well themed, brand new, super clean, super nice. For what? A green room in the Grand Californian? Why is it green? Why did they make the rooms green
I thought they're
for
white
so
now.
long? Now,
Oh yeah.
downgrade. like at least the green room is like memorable. Like what are they doing? Like why is it not lodgy? Why? I don't understand. It's
Yeah,
always
I
so
think
sad, hotels that like you walk into and there's such a promise when you like walk in, you're like, oh, this is so nice. I'm sure the rooms are gonna be so nice, and then the rooms are just garbage. You know, it's like that. We were literally last night planning an Orlando trip, and we were talking about that. At Universal Orlando, have you guys heard of Cabana Bay?
That's what's connected to Volcano Bay, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cabana Bay, when you walk in, man, it is like it transports you back in time to like you're on a road trip in the 50s with your family, and it is just like so gorgeous, and it's such a nice lobby. There's a bowling alley in the lobby.
Oh, that's cool.
They just put a milkshake like shack in there. and there's a whole diner and like amazing Starbucks and amazing gift shop, and there's a bar, and they retheme like half of the lobby to HHN, and they host HHN events in there, and like it is so nice. And then you walk into the room and it is Motel 6. It's like what
Man.
happened? It's like what happened to this promise of this great hotel? And then I walk into this room and it's like, oh, the room does not match what I just saw in the lobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, God, it's just so crazy. Like I said, Disneyland hotels, I would not have a strong opinion if they weren't so bloody expensive. They are
Yeah,
insanely expensive.
I think it's just an availability thing. There aren't enough
Totally.
hotels, and we were gonna get that huge one, right? With
Mhm.
the cool lobby, like
Mhm.
like I feel like the format was almost contemporary. Like the rooms are above, there's this promenade below, and the
Connect to the
mono
monorail.
yeah, and then Anaheim was like you moved to 80 feet, so taxes back on,
Well,
and
that's
then
not
that's
entirely true. While that is what they pulled, basically what was happening was Anaheim realized Anaheim um, actually voted in people that weren't bought out by Disney. And those people looked at the plans and went, wait, who's paying for the hotel? Uh-uh. It was supposed to be Anaheim. Anaheim was going to completely pay for that hotel. And they were like, no. And so they found one way to screw Disney over. But what's funny is Disney took that and was like, oh no, like big mean old Anaheim City Council. And it's like, if you guys only knew.
but what I'm saying though is like it's you kind of have to play the game because Disney's like, you know what, we're not going to build a hotel, and now they're because they Anaheim was going to get the occupancy tax, which on its own is kind of a silly thing in general.
Yeah,
I'm not anti-tax, but occupancy tax is like it's like property tax for sleeping. Uh, but like Disney did win that battle for now. And I'm not I'm not a corporate apologist. It's just always funny how like it's such a strong Anaheim government stance to hate Disney. And it's kind of like, why? Like,
They're everything.
I'm not saying give
truly,
them everything they want, but like, hey, how about you like build a relationship and there's a give and take and you figure it out and you each get what you want.
truly,
Um, and it's just like, no, we're hard on Disney. It's like, why? They're here. They're not going anywhere. And there's a lot of tax money. And I'm not Mr. Oh, they create jobs, but they employ a lot of Anaheim residents. If anything, give them something and then push them on minimum wage and stuff. Like
totally.
I feel like I heard about some weird law where they they attach some sort of tax break to a minimum wage hike, but I think that just like disappeared. Like you could do a bunch of crap like that. Like, oh, you don't want sales tax on tickets to come back? Your starting wage must be this, and then boom. If the numbers shake out where their taxes are more expensive, they'll pay more. Yada yada yada. I don't know where we're getting there, but that's always just been funny to me. But I do want to talk about security for a moment. The security experience absolutely sucks. I do not feel any safer. One, because most of that security stuff is theater. It's not real. The TSA doesn't catch anyone doing anything. It's all nonsense to make you feel safer. No one feels it,
They
right?
actually proved that it's less safe
Yeah.
to
Oh
have
man.
TSA at airports
And
because
then
they don't catch this particularly in airports. I'm not calling out Disneyland security. I don't have any strong opinions about Disneyland security, but for TSA, they literally did studies and they were like, actually, as it turns out, it's more dangerous in the long run because while they're not catching any criminals or terrorists at all, um, TSA being a part of the airport experience is now causing more car crashes than ever from people rushing to the airport because they have to get there
That
so early
makes
for
sense.
TSA.
yeah, so the other thing with that is it's all based on like the mood of the security cast member where someone is opening chapsticks, right? And the other is, you know, copping a feel on your backpack. And then the other thing is that they manually decide the sensitivity of the sensors. I walk through with the same shoes, the same glasses, the same watch, the same belt, and nothing else in my pockets. And sometimes the alarms go off, sometimes nothing. Sometimes the little wand beeps louder than others. I got to flip my stupid belt over. I
Yep.
don't know what the hell anyone's putting behind their belt, but it's,
Great.
it's because of that, it's almost like it makes you feel less safe. I know it's random, but we've talked about that touchless thing before, uh, that they have in Walt Disney World, where you just walk through and all it does is ding you for Altoids. And the thing with that, well, one, I think a security cast member told me, secret source, that that a few leads or something just didn't like it, and so they just dropped it because they're like, well, whatever. But at least with the touchless thing, the machine decides. It's automatic. There's no the cast member decided to hold up the line today, or the cast member decided they didn't want to hold up the line today,
Yeah.
right?
100%.
And at least if you have a system, if the system has the same bug in it over and over again, you just change that bug. But people are people, so it's like I hate the whole experience. It used to be like I'm leaving work at this time and it takes this long to park and then I get on the tram. And now it's like, who the hell knows? By the time I get in, it's
It's like TSA.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like,
You have to take that into account now.
hey, I'll meet you and I'll tell you every step of the way where I am. Because even now it's like I'm in line for the tram. Oh, there have been no trams for 10 minutes. I'm on the tram now. We have now stopped. Like who knows? So yeah, the
Mhm.
whole security entrance experience is it it does not feel like the well-oiled machine that it should feel like at Disneyland. The
Yeah.
the OG bag check was like, and they were going through those bags, but it was just they had one job, go through the bags, and they did it on plastic tables, and there was no holdup. All of
Yep.
a sudden there is.
Also, I shouldn't be punished because the person in front of me decided to bring a bag to Disneyland. That's what's so great about Walt Disney World. It's like everyone is running in at the same time, and everyone that has a bag now has to go over there. But you're free. Like I'm free.
Right.
And then
Like
even
that's fine. Like you go ahead and check their bags, but I'm continuing to walk through because there's nothing that you have to check for on me.
and I bring a bag. But the other thing that gets thrown off is like if there's 3 people in front of me with no bag, they go in so quickly, they're standing in front of the metal detector, and then now we're all just waiting and it's backed up and they're trying to check someone's bag behind me and it's just like, yeah, as someone who brings a bag every time, have there be a no bag line. If there wasn't no bag line, maybe I would just bring a water bottle and carry it
Yep.
instead of like I bring a bag to throw it in there.
Mhm.
We may as well, right? But yeah, it's just like it's another one of those things that pulls you out of the whole experience. And I know it's like we're talking about security, but it's not real, guys. Like you just look up security theater. It's not a conspiracy. None of this
Also,
stuff goes
another
on.
thing too is something so interesting is I have so many security people at like various events, theme parks, tell me, "Oh, you don't need to do that." When I go like this when I'm wearing an Apple Watch and I walk through metal detectors, and every time I tell them like, "It's a thing,
Hey, what is
it's a
that?
thing," and so basically like at some point I went through some metal detector and I couldn't remember where it was. But I went through some metal detector and a security guard told me, "Oh, go back through and go like this over my Apple Watch." And so I did. I walked through and he was like, "You're good, man." And I was like, "That really works?" He's like, "It really works." I was like, "That's crazy." And I
Right.
literally saw it with my own eyes happen. I walked through, beep, 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 beep. Go again. Go like this. No beeps. The only thing that changed was me covering the Apple Watch. And so every time I go in somewhere and I'm wearing an Apple Watch, I always cover it instinctively. And I have so many security guards telling me like, "That's not a thing. You don't have to do that. That doesn't work." And I always tell them like, "No, it works. I promise." And then the last time I was at Universal Orlando, it happened. I stopped doing it because so many security guards were like, "You ain't got to do that. It's not a thing." And my thing beeped. And the guy goes, "Cover your Apple Watch." And I was like, I literally stopped the security guard because there was no one behind me in line. And I was like, "Dude, I've been trying to remember where it was that I heard about this. And it's here, Universal Orlando. You guys,
Mm.
they have the best security team. The
Yeah,
Universal Orlando security is the best out of all of them because they are the most efficient, the most like no BS, like get it done, like not going through your bag like, "Oh, what's this? What's that?" And I've done their security for HHN where they should be going crazy
Oh, yep.
and they are good. They are just like, "All right, let's see your bag. Cool, water bottle, just pour it out, throw it away. All right, you're good."
Mm.
And yeah,
Yeah.
they're the ones that told me about the Apple Watch thing.
And
And
all
so
that's
yeah, to
all
this
that's
day,
saying is that the things can't detect anything covered by body, which probably makes sense with the whole the underwear guy with the TSA. It's like anything between the cheeks. Metal detector's not getting it. So uh
yeah,
not that we should spread that knowledge here.
especially if you're caked up, man.
Yeah,
Oof.
spread.
Spread that knowledge.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's annoying. So, anyone got anything they want to go
I
do?
want to do a couple at the same time.
Go for it.
And they all kind of fall under the same thing. And it's kind of similar to what we're talking about because the addition of so many more things, having to deal with so many more things now with reservations, with the app, with, parking, et cetera, et cetera. It all kind of culminates into this one like rush. This one, like, you have to go, 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 go now at Disneyland. And because of that, it kind of, I just hate it. Like, I hate having to be like, okay, in the next 5 minutes, we have to get to this reservation. In the next, because of so many different kinds of reservations that you can have now in the park, you can have a bad time parking. You can have a bad time waiting for the tram, like we're saying. And all these things can limit you from getting to where you need to go. And because of that, you can just like rush through the
It's
rush.
deadlines. Basically.
Deadlines, yeah. And one of the things that can block you from a lot of this stuff is the thing I probably hate the most in the park. And that is getting to Disneyland during the parade.
Okay. You know what it is? Disney is very good at putting in the breaks and walking you through and whatever. It's people pretending they don't want to watch the parade. And then they watch the parade while they're supposed to be walking.
Yeah.
It's the rubbernecking. It's like, guys, just stand to the side. Like, yeah, they're gonna get yelled at or whatever, but it's like they're walking forward, looking to the left, and then they're not really walking, and it's like, come on.
It's just like on the freeway,
Yeah, we could just
Yep.
be
Like,
through
look at
here
this
right now.
accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Oh no, when they redid part of the 60 near La Puente, my dad was like, look, they're putting in a higher wall in the center. That means you can't look over at the accident on the other side that somehow causes traffic. And yeah, that's the parades do that for sure. And it's like, I'll watch it when I know there isn't when the ropes there, right? We're all just standing there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then you hear them, all right, everybody, let's go. And you just walk. Just, yeah, it's.
But those two things together, like getting to the park during the parade and you having to go somewhere because your app is telling you need to go, is the worst possible experience at Disneyland.
Yeah, I am like extra picky about parades and particularly parade music because parades just ruin so much of like the theme park going experience. It's like your parade better be good for it to
How do you
be
feel about Magic
inconvenient to me.
Happens?
I love Magic Happens. I
joke.
really love Magic Happens a lot. I hated Sensational. I thought Sensational was horrible. Genuinely horrible. I hated it.
I joke that the worst part of the Magic Happens song is when they say Magic Happens because it just throws off the whole beat. The rest of the song is really great. But when they're just like, duh, and then they say Magic Happens, I'm like, okay, come on, keep it going. Because it's a catchy tune. And then it's like, all right, let's pause for a moment. Gotta say the name of the parade. But I know I'm the I hate phones guy. All right, I get that. But I think it's people trying to record everything while walking, but not watching anything.
Yeah.
That makes things worse.
Man, I'm just glad that we're out of the iPad firework recording era. That was actually like the worst.
But it's like
that, and it was like combined with selfie sticks. That was bad.
Oh, that was bad.
That was bad.
Yeah, I think it's gimbals really bother me. Cause I'm like
the DJI ones.
You know what it is about the gimbal thing? I know. There are vloggers out there, whatever. Calm down. just like
you have a gimbal. You have a gimbal. We get it.
Yeah. Like, yeah. And then when they got the monitor on top too, and come on, you don't need to do this.
Remember, I had one for like a week.
Yeah, and I think he just bought it because it was cool.
Yeah,
But
it was
like,
kind of cool.
it, I don't know. Rain, you put it here. Influencers.
Yeah,
You got rid of it though.
I
It looks
did.
like.
I did.
Yeah,
I didn't know if I
coward.
wanted to complain about it,
Yeah. Oh, I
but
wonder why. Rain, coward. You want to get into it, huh?
yes, you know what? Yeah, let's get into it. That'll be we'll wrap it up with that.
Here's my thing. I actually made a tweet about this where I talked about like the influencer hate thing. It's really funny because like so much of the influencer hate I feel like is actually I'll be more specific. I think it's really interesting when people hate on Disney influencers because I feel like there are like real Disney influencers and there are like the fake ones, and I feel like
Mhm.
all the real ones, 90% of them are like actually super cool, and they're no different from because I wouldn't count myself as an influencer. Some people do, but
So can I pause you?
yes.
Which is is a nice way to say, can I interrupt you? Uh, well, because I have something about this. I was talking about this with Kimmy about how I hate the word content, right? And I'm sure
I
we all
hate
hate
it.
the word content.
Yeah,
So, well, Kimmy's like, well, don't you make content? I'm like, no, I make a show.
yeah,
I make, or Rain and I, obviously, we make an entertainment show. Okay. And then there are tips and tricks and whatever that I would call content. And I would probably call Ordinary Adventures and Fresh Baked content. I know it's a vlog kind of thing, but it's like that's like content level, right? Because they're
yeah,
showing you just a real thing and they're just talking about the thing, right? It's not that they do good editing and they put music, all that stuff, but I don't know if that's not a show, right? Not that show is we do such hard work here or anything. Just like this is a produced show, it's edited, whatever. And then there's content. It's that there are influencers, so I'm doing air quotes, that say like, "Sorry, I haven't put out content lately," but content is like I'm holding a purse in front of the castle, where it's like, uh, I don't know. It's because there's so many people doing it, and it's not even like people who have like brand deals, which that's like a whole other thing where you're just like doing the thing. I don't know, go do what makes you happy, but it's like that's just you're just doing it to be popular, I think, for a lot of people. And again, do what you want. But now it's gotten to the point, and a few listeners have written in, it's like it kind of gets in your way. Like, not like I'm mad that people are doing this thing. It's that like I can't even look at the castle because someone just like there's like 10 people doing all the same poses. And it's not like a family posing for a picture, whatever. It's like, hi, I'm hamming it up for my Instagram followers. And I think it's too much sometimes. And it's people who yell at their vlogs or they're putting on way too much of a character. And it's like we're in a semi-public place, and it's like there's the whole concept of main character energy and all that kind of stuff. And it's like people are like, oh, why don't you make a reel or a video about this? Like I feel embarrassed doing it sometimes, not like oh, people are gonna laugh at me, just like no, I'm like looking at this thing, oh, what's up guys, I'm eating the paleta, it's like I gotta like tone it down with that. And I think it's that you can make generalizations all day, but there's people who are just, I'm sorry, but there are just some of them, you're not providing like positive uh and you're not providing like a positive thing to the world. You're just like here, and it's like, come on, like can we all just calm down a little bit, right? And everyone, not everyone, so many people, they're chasing like income wherever they can, which I totally get because people don't have the best paying jobs, and it sucks out there, especially for people who are not me. So I am not able to put myself in their shoes. So I get that. But it's like this, like, all right, you're just being an ad for someone now. And like, what are you doing for $40 right now? Like you're coming here and bothering me. There's the girl with the freaking firecracker in front of the castle. Like it's that
Oh, with the candle?
yeah,
I
man.
remember that. I remember that.
But
It's
see,
that
like that's exactly my point. Like to continue with my point is because
yeah,
actually
you
like you're
now I want to
totally
hear you.
because you're actually like totally supporting what I was trying to say, and that is like when everyone is like, "Oh, influencers suck," it's like and specifically when they talk about Disney influencers, because other type of influencers, that's one thing. But I want to talk specifically about Disney influencers because that's the type of influencer I know the most of. And like the thing about that is everything that people complain about, I'm like, right, but like my friends don't do that. And like all of my friends are real Disney influencers. These are people with 10,000 plus followers that work with Disney. It's all everyone you're complaining about are the wannabes. The
Yeah.
wannabes
Yeah,
are
for sure.
the actual problem. The ones holding up the line, the ones vlogging in your face, yelling, are too loud, are talking over the rides, talking over the shows, pulling out firecrackers. Like I don't know who that girl is. No one I know who knows who that girl is.
Yeah.
That's who everyone should really be up in arms with, is the wannabes.
Yeah,
Because
like
like the
all
people what damage, what danger is fresh baked Disney doing to
so,
your Disney
so that's
going
the thing.
experience? You know
That's
what
the
I
thing.
mean? And
Anytime I
like I don't
critique
even
Fresh Baked, I critique the content, but David is never bothering anyone at
yeah.
Disneyland. He's chilling. He's quiet. You see him in the corner doing something, but you have to like know that it's him.
Exactly.
Otherwise,
Like that's the thing, is it's like all these like real Disney influencers,
yeah.
they're not like everyone's like, oh, they're the ones that are taking the photo in front of the castle and holding up the line with Mickey and Minnie. It's like, no, they're over in the corner of Toontown at the one water fountain that no one uses taking photos.
Yeah.
It's never intrusive at all.
Yeah, like
It never is.
we've met Ordinary Adventures once and I've seen their videos, but they're never in anyone's way. Again, I don't know any of these people personally, so I'm not like, yay or nay on any of them.
Yeah.
Magic Journeys, I like tease them about some of their shots, but like again, they're not in any
They were nice when I met them.
yeah, they're not in anyone's way. I've seen them walk by me. They just look like any other couple walking by, right? Like they're doing a thing. They're doing a real thing. Why did I say I watch their videos? Because they sit down and record the food and they're like, "Oh my god, it's so yummy." Like they describe it to me. Like, "What is this? What is the texture? What does this taste like?"
They're not going to describe it well, but they're doing it and no one else is. And you got to give them credit for that.
No, it's like sometimes I'm like, "Have you tried this thing? It's so tasty." And then it's gone. That's not them. I'm saying those are like the other people. I'm like, "What was this? Why
Dude,
did you do this?"
I am such a Magic Journeys like stan. Like I watch every single one of their videos when it drops, and they'll like get a quesadilla, and it's like, wow, like a birria quesadilla. Oh, it's so birria, and you can really taste the cheese. It's like all they do is just describe what it is, like what's in it. They never will tell you like, oh wow, this is way spicier than I thought it would be. It's never that. It's like, this cold brew, the coffee, nice.
Listen,
That's
none of
every one of the
you
reviews.
none of you out there even deserve my paleta reviews. All right.
Just keep them for yourself from now on, dude.
No, yeah, like you gotta describe how it makes you feel, how there's too much of one thing or the other, and what other things does it taste like. Do either one of you know Steve 1989 MRE info?
What?
Oh
What
yes,
who's that?
I have heard
Okay,
of this guy.
this
I haven't seen
man
his content though.
okay, this
The
man
MRE
opens
reviewer, right?
yeah, he
Yeah,
reviews
yeah.
MREs. I urge you, watch any of them that isn't a 24-hour ration. Because those have a lot of like, it's not his fault. It's just a lot of crackers and prepackaged stuff. When he's
Totally.
got to like crack open a pouch of like chicken burrito bowl and rehydrate it and reheat it in a hot pouch or whatever, the way this man describes food, you can taste it. You can taste it. And
Awesome.
he's like super cool guy. Like he doesn't get political about anything. He doesn't really talk about the military. All he'll say is like, this would be really good if you've been running around all day and you got to be up at night. Like that's it, right? And he's like, I've
But
never
that's
served
great.
in. Yeah.
That's great. Like I need a review like that. I don't need you to tell me that the quesadilla is cheesy. I'm sure it is. I'm sure that it is. Like I said, I love them so much, but that's the one thing I'm like, if I had a note for them, like work on your food reviewing skills.
But at least like they're showing you a video of the food and the different components and whatever. And it's like, look, I'm a curmudgeon where in every world they're just like, no one's recording anything at Disneyland anymore. But it's that, yeah, everyone it's like when 6-year-olds are like, "I wanna be a YouTuber when I grow up," and it's like, dude, that ship has sailed. Like,
Sorry.
and yeah, maybe one of you, don't let your dreams be dreams and all that, but it's like there so many people I don't wanna tell people not to try, but it's like they're not trying, you know? Like, if you're gonna try, just do it and do it for real, but, like, they no people aren't always putting in the work, and they're just standing in front of things, taking a picture. The content is me standing here, and it's like, it's not even content. It's just a post. It's just a social media post. Like, even the word content, which is almost like this throwaway, like, blanket term, is like some people don't even deserve to call their stuff that. I'm sorry, but I'm not. Like, it's what are you getting in my way for? You know?
Dude, that's
Uh
what's so funny about the way that I approach content on my TikTok account, because the way that I do content is like a really good way to describe it is like I whenever I'm deciding on what content I want to make, I always try to make the content that I'm like, this is not the first thing that like most content creators would think of covering, but I know this is the thing that people really care about.
Yeah.
And I
the
feel like a
couple
perfect example of that is Brie was invited to the Disney 100 event this year at the beginning of this year, and I tagged along as her plus one. And my content that I did significantly better than a lot of other people's content there, because everyone else was coming to this summer at Disneyland, the new Toontown Mickey Runaway Railway ride. Look at the props in the queue, and look, there's Mickey Mouse, and look, it's the ride, just like in Walt Disney World that you've already seen for years and years, right? Nothing new. And it's like, yeah, okay, everyone knows that. Like, no one cares. I stood there and I looked around and I was like, I wonder if the effects are still working in Toontown. And I just ran around the land and I was like, let's check if all the effects are working. And my video did so much better because everyone in the comments was like, yes, this is what I wanted to see. This is what I've been wondering for like a year now. And it's like
yeah,
so funny because everyone was standing in front of Runaway Railway and no one, the rest of the land was a ghost town. All the media was standing in the front of the ride. And I just got to walk around through an empty Toontown being like, yep, look, everything's working and working better than ever. They updated the sounds and everything.
yeah, Kimmy and I went on Runaway Railway just, like, finally one day, right? And I think it was when you can kinda roam around, but Toontown wasn't open, and it was like, "Oh, yeah, let's see if, like, the door still does whatever. Let's go see, oh, there's a little dog in the window. It's like the official seal of tomorrow," and we didn't make content out of it. We were just, like, looking around, and it's like, yeah, you wanna see that stuff because the dorks are watching, right? And the way you
Yeah.
described, I think when you went on Cosmic Rewind, it sounds like when you're making something, you're in the kitchen and cooking. You're cooking. You're not throwing it in the microwave. You're there, you get in a couple spices, right? You're chopping a couple things finely, like you're getting it going. And yeah, it's look, we all know, like we all see the code word Disneys who compile everything for us and all this kind of stuff. And then there's just like, I'm just a person taking pictures and I want lots of likes. So maybe Dooney and Burke can give me a free bag. It's like, can we
There's
could
a
chill.
difference.
And I got
Yeah.
my whole other thing on like, being, you work with a company and you're basically their advertising platform, but it's like when we all know what's up, it's fine, right? One way or another, we're gonna get advertised too. But yeah, it's just get out of my way. you know, I just, I just,
At the end of the day, get out of our way.
yeah, I just want to relax, right? We're just here to have fun. But you know what? I know we've been going on, and this is just a philosophical thing.
But wait, while we're still in the negative realm, can I share my overrated list?
Yeah, in a second, in a second.
Depart.
No, I'm
Okay,
not
okay,
moving on.
okay.
I'm not moving on. No,
Oh,
no,
okay,
no,
okay,
no,
okay,
no.
okay.
That wasn't a segue. That wasn't a segue.
I was
There
like,
are
I gotta
just
stop the segue.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. Don't worry. I would have asked. So it's that so many people are not there to just have fun and enjoy it anymore. And it's
Mhm.
like you're crowding up the reservation system, you're crowding up the seats on the rides and the tram, and all you're doing is you're here to record and you're not really even it's not even like your job. You're just trying to make it this thing you do. And it's like, yeah, you know, th- like the people who are recording their character interactions because they want to talk for a long time and have a funny conversation. It's like, dude, that 3-year-old has been wanting to meet Mickey Mouse since he was a year old, right? For 2/3 of his life, and you won't stop talking for YouTube. Like, come on, let's get it going. Because there's a long line of kids who are all gonna cry when Clarabelle comes out instead of Mickey.
It's just
So
awareness. There are so many influencers that just completely just lack awareness. Because I mean, to be fair, like the thing is, like what's hard about being a good influencer, a responsible influencer, is like that part that you were saying about like the hey, I'm gonna try out this new thing. Like doing that already is such a barrier to get over. That is like, ugh. Like it just feels like if you're someone who is a self-aware person, like that just feels like so gross and disgusting to step over it. But then the problem is people just completely slam down that barrier and then they have no barrier. They're like, let me slam down the barrier so that I can do this. But then I'm going to stand in front of Mickey Mouse and take up 10 minutes of his time when there's a 3-year-old behind me. So it's just like this interesting thing. Yeah, I feel like also the biggest thing too, going back to Disney vloggers, dude, and this goes for both codes. It's like, hey guys, do a take two. Do a take two on that review. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll watch the videos and I'm baffled because for me, I'm like, dude, when you watch my videos, it's like take 30. If you hear me do a narration,
Oh, on TikTok,
it's
you're
like
saying.
take 30, dude.
Yeah.
oh,
Because
yeah, yeah,
every
yeah,
time
okay.
I'm like, that sounded stupid. Nope, that's dumb. I'm not gonna end it like that. No, I'm not gonna do this. Like, and I just don't understand. I'm like, how? That's me doing voiceover. How are you filming yourself? And you're like, yep, that's perfect. I'm gonna put it in the video.
The couple edited reels that I did, I sat up here with my mic plugged into my phone on Adobe Premiere Rush, and I recorded the voiceover 8 or 9 times. Like, because yeah, you now it's like you are muting everything and listening to the voice. Like, come on, don't sound like crap. That's rule number 1. Uh, Now the last thing I was gonna say, the the compliment we always get. So those of you who write in and you're like, I like that the 2 friends talk about how they enjoy Disneyland and it sounds like they're hanging out. It's because we go to Disneyland and we have fun, and then we just happen to talk about it once a week.
After.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me say
Mhm.
the last 2 things that just suck, but they're not big discussions. And then, yeah, I wanted your overrated list anyway. That was gonna be the whole end segment. Human characters that are masked,
Yep. No
Mm.
explanation needed.
that
Mhm.
cool Jafar at Sweethearts Night. Let's get that going. All right.
Shout out to the
Em
Wiggles.
employ the bushy eyebrow men. Let's do it. And then, like, the
I'm
last
curious about
thing,
this last one.
the New Orleans one, right? Or
Yeah.
what do you yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They remember how they dropped down all those planters at New Orleans?
Right.
They just put, like, plain parking structure pavement
Mm.
with, like, it's got the little, the anti-slip pattern, which is fine, right? And these smooth borders at these square edges of pavement with no theming whatsoever. And this is like in a world where they painted on bricks at the Toontown entrance. And it's like you guys couldn't do anything. Like, Adventureland has the fake rock stuff, and this is just like we just made a grid in New Orleans Square. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm fine that they leveled it and whatever. I get it. They have to do it. Disneyland's so small, it can't have as much character as it used to. But like, you could have done a little more with the floor. That's all. I think it sucks, and it's more of like the do better episode I want to do. But like, come on. It's why are you guys slipping? They shouldn't be. So, Matthew, what is overrated?
Oh, okay. Got a big long list. I'll actually go from the bottom up. A lot of these things I've already talked about this episode, like merch. I wrote spirit jerseys, right?
Mhm.
It's gonna get hot. I hope y'all are ready. Land. Let's just get right into it. Galaxy's Edge. Galaxy's Edge is a land where if you're not spending $500, there's nothing to do, and it's
But is it
too
overrated?
big. I think so because people think it's the greatest, like God's greatest gift to humanity. People think it's like the greatest land ever made, and actually, I think it's objectively one of the worst lands ever made. It
I've only
takes
heard
up.
negative things about it. If anything, I'm the one who likes it the most, and even I'm like, there isn't much to do. I just kind of like the atmosphere a little bit.
I feel like that's going to be a big theme of this list because there were a couple things that I was like telling Bree, my girlfriend, about this list. She was like, I've never heard anyone say. I'm like, literally, I only hear positive things about A, B, C, or D that I have on my list.
Really?
For me, like the people around in my circles, like for the past few years, are just nothing but like Galaxy's Edge is the greatest gift to Disneyland,
Wow.
and all I can say is just negative things about it. I was so excited for that land, and I'm the biggest Star Wars fan, and it's just too big. It's such a massive waste of space. There are so many areas of the land where it's just like, why why is there why is there the Irvine Spectrum food court over here? You should just be scattering stalls everywhere. It makes no sense. And then yeah, there's just nothing to do. Like it's like, oh well, there's the Money Falcon ride. I've already done it 100 times, and it's the same mission over and over again, and nothing changes. I'm okay. Um, don't think Rise is all that. I think it's fine. I think that the queue experience is far superior to the ride experience. Um, and then yeah, it's like, oh well, you could build a lightsaber. Oh really? I'm just gonna drop $200 every time I go to Disneyland. There's nothing to do. It is slowly but surely, in teeny tiny increments, getting better with them throwing in so much new food all of the time,
The
which I
food is
really
it,
appreciate.
the food
Yeah.
is phenomenal.
Which I
Oh,
really
it's
appreciate.
awesome.
Every time, it's always some delicious little snack or treat that comes out of nowhere. That is like
Yeah.
great. It's never motivated. It's never like, with the release of the new season of Mandalorian, it's just like, hey, here's a Doritos with cream on top of it. Enjoy. Great.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. I appreciate them trying with the Bounty Hunter game. At least that's something. And now funneling more characters like the Mandalorian and Grogu are awesome. Genuinely awesome. But that is just tiny little things with the just massive problems that land has, and just the massive missed opportunity that land was. Okay, so parking lot, Toy Story. I do not understand why there is such a huge group of people, especially y'all can understand this being a tram themed podcast. Why would you pick the bus over the tram? Why would you pick being out in an extra, add 10 more degrees, 30 more degrees to your parking lot experience?
Yeah.
Because it's just open air, cement, pavement, what have you. No music, no theming, no vibes. More inconvenient as well.
Dude, you're not doing overrated. You're just doing Disneyland sucks, and that's great. You just say it. It's like you're almost like, I'm just saying it's overrated. No.
It's with a little
sucks.
splash
Toy
of
Story
overrated
lot
too.
sucks.
Sucks. Galaxy's Edge sucks. Grand California Hotel sucks. I'm putting that as my most overrated hotel because people be loving it, and it does not deserve the love that it gets. Because let me tell you,
As a hotel.
as a hotel,
As an
But-
area, I really like it.
vibes, sure, great. But if you put any Walt Disney World hotel into Disneyland Resort, instantly would become irrelevant. Buffet, whack. Napa Rose, mid.
That's fair.
The bar and grill area with the attached restaurant, mid.
It was great the day it opened.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Something happened. I was like, am I crazy or was this place good?
Yeah,
At
I
one
used to
point.
sit at the bar and
Mid.
just have the best time, and now it's like,
Lobby vibes are going downhill ever since we lost out on live piano, and now that they decided to do this weird lobby dining experience thing where now you can't get any seating anywhere. Listen. And worst part too is that they're really the monorail really ought to stop in the Grand Californian as well.
Yeah.
It really does feel like they were
I wish
planning
it
on
would.
doing it, and then they just didn't for some reason at the last minute.
people take forever to get on and off that thing, and I think it's okay. Is Walt Disney World standing?
Standing and sitting. It's a mix.
We don't have standing available, so we're all shuffling around,
Yeah,
and
you're
then,
right.
like,
It is an awkward, like, kind of cramming and
you
experience.
gotta get, like, the ECVs in there, and then you put the
Mhm.
ramp on there, and then they
I have
gotta
a
go around the corner.
My monorail redesign, real quick, would be moving walkway loading, and you just basically combine the people mover with the monorail. You take every car and you make it one. Door opens. All right, you have all this time to load. All right, doors
Mm.
close, and it takes off.
Hmm, interesting.
X ultra efficiency. Um, Fireworks. Mickey's Mix Magic. I do not understand how that firework show has such a fan base. I think it is horrible. There is no storyline, and all of the music is terrible, outdated, cringy dubstep remixes that are not even good. It'd be one thing if it was outdated dubstep remixes and they were good, but they're not.
I like them, but only as they reminded me of when I was in high school, and that is when those remixes were posted on YouTube. So that's the whole vibe. Like, but it
Yeah.
stayed way too long. That should have been a little seasonal thing. It was, the little Mickey birthday celebration. The
Yeah.
original song though sucks. Get Your Ears On
Ugh.
is worse than the remixes.
Because it suffers from this is like how you can tell that something sucks at a theme park if the thing orders you to feel a certain way.
Mm.
Like, when can we do this again?
Yeah.
When can we? I'm trying to think through the lyrics.
Can we do this again?
Does
I hope
it?
this night never ends.
No, but it doesn't tell you to like jump up
Oh,
or
that's
to
what you're saying.
smile, to
Got it,
laugh,
got it. Okay.
to cry. Like if a work of art, whether that be music or a show or whatever it is, if it tells you how to feel, it sucks. Like automatically, it's the worst thing ever.
Happy by Pharrell?
And they tell you like, get your ears on. It's a good time. Don't tell me it's a good time. Make it a good time.
Yeah, I get that.
You know?
I Yeah. Mickey's Mixed Magic, I honestly I liked it, like, twice because it was fun to see, like, people dancing, but then, like, people stopped dancing because we heard it over and over again.
Yeah.
And Un Poco Loco is just the worst of them all. The worst of
It
the remixes.
actually
It's
is the
actually
worst
not
one.
even on beat. It's not like they don't even do like a Latin beat. Like Un Poco Loco could have been the most fire one.
Yeah, and
If
there's,
they
like, a
went
whole
with some crazy like reggaeton, like dun, da, dun, da, dun, da, 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 dun,
yeah,
da,
and
da,
there's
da, da,
even,
like
like,
out of left field would have been amazing. But it's like
yeah.
this weird like on 2 and 4 beat that completely throws off the song. I don't know. That's
No,
so
there
nuts.
was a whole era of EDM with, like, Moombaton stuff and all that. Like,
Yeah.
they could have found something or had someone do it if that's what they were going for, but they didn't. Uh, I think I don't know, it has its fun moments, but I also was, like, into that music for a period of time.
Yeah.
Not
You
remixes,
have a
but
little nostalgia
the
kind of attached to it
genres,
a
the
little bit for the
genres. Like,
genre.
I
Sure,
was
sure.
in the Skrillex when people were like, "Who is that and why are you listening to it?" Like, that's my hipster moment because of RJ, but, like, so get reminded at that time, but it's also like, yeah, they don't EDM doesn't even sound like this anymore. That's what kinda threw me off. It was like, I did enjoy it. I did think it worked as I mean, this is before Wondrous Journeys. It
Oh,
worked as a non-fireworks thing for the kids, I feel,
Like
because
just the projections?
it was so projection heavy anyway, and it's just like music and lasers. It was like, okay. But now, like, Wondrous Journeys with or without projections is awesome. So, or with
oh
or
yeah.
without pyro is
Slaps.
awesome.
Oh yeah.
That's what bothered me so much about Sweethearts Night is it was windy. So instead of giving us Wondrous Journeys without pyro, they gave us Mixed Magic and we walked away and went to the Royal Ball.
Yeah, that sucks.
Like, it made no sense to me.
Live show. Frozen at the Hyperion.
I never saw it, but it didn't look good to me.
It was
I liked it.
horrible. I thought it was absolutely terrible in every way. And like it was just like there's so many times, right, where it's like, people are like, "Oh, you're an old man yelling at Cloud for being like the original version was better, but like there's just so many cases at Disney where like that's the case. And like Frozen is the most frustrating of all of them because it's like, actually, why did you get rid of Aladdin?
Yeah,
It,
it was too late.
it was so
Yeah.
popular, and it was only gaining popularity because of social media.
Yeah, could you
The
imagine right
rise of
now?
social media revitalized that show because everyone was like, "Oh my god, what's the genie gonna say today?"
Yeah.
And they decided then, let's replace this with Frozen, which is in every way a worse show.
They
In
tried
every
making
way.
Olaf the genie, but it didn't work.
No,
Olaf's
because
too dumb.
Yeah.
Olaf is not, but it's just they're completely different. Olaf is like, I'm silly goofy, and the genie
Yeah.
is like, I'm going to make a million references because I was the first character to do this, and because Robin Williams is the only person that could get away with this, and it's basically Robin Williams the character. Nothing else can do that. The genie can get away with that, and nothing else. And yeah, it's just horrible in every way. It's just a worse show in every way, and it, the worst part too is that it's like longer, but it tells the story worse of Frozen worse than Aladdin told the story of Aladdin.
Yeah.
So
That's
I could go on and on about how it's just the biggest downgrade. Sit down, Blue Bayou, we talked about it.
Mhm.
Quick service, we also talked about it. Pizza Planet. Why? Listen, I won't get into it, but all I'll say,
Look up Trammin worst foods of Disneyland on Google Images and look at the art.
all I'll say is that it's a thing that person that has only been to Disneyland once will turn to you and go, "Oh, the pizza at Pizza Planet is pretty good." That is every person that has been to Disneyland once that thinks that like freaking Star Tours is real. I don't know. Ride. I'm gonna say I have it written down here. I'm gonna say Web Slingers
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
because it sucks and it just
Too short.
basically the way I decided like what would be the most overrated ride was I was like, I think this was just this past Saturday when I made this list. I was like, what has the longest wait right now at the Disneyland Resort at 5:30 p.m. on a Saturday? And it was Web Slingers.
Wow.
And I was like, that sucks. That actually sucks. The one nice thing that I'll say about that ride is that it does deliver on the promise of being a superhero. It does deliver on the promise of like being a superhero better than both Star Wars rides deliver on the promise of like actually doing things that you would want to do in a Star Wars movie if you were actually in a Star Wars movie. And that is like doing the, slinging webs, and if you get the attachments, oh, now you can be Iron Man. Oh, now you can be like, just even that little thing. It's like it doesn't even matter how bad the execution is. Just the fact that you can do that is still better than like, I don't know, your slow tour through Rise of the Resistance. It's like, oh yeah, this is like what I always wanted to do in Star Wars was like get yelled at by people. I don't know. It's like, and then it's like I think back on original Star Tours with Captain Rex saying, "I always wanted to do this. We're going in," and just thinking like, yeah, they got it. Like that's the one time that Disney was like, this is what people want out of a Star Wars ride. That and when Hondo is like, all right, now pull the flashing lever and make the jump to light speed. It's like those are the only two times where it's like, yes.
Yeah,
You
what?
know.
Freddie said something like this. Oh, he said that Hyperspace Mountain fulfills his Star Wars fantasy more than Rise does.
Specifically the Paris one though.
Right, the
Oh
Paris one,
yeah,
the
the
Paris one,
Paris
because of
one
the
rips.
barrel rolls and all that. Yeah,
The Paris one rips. Because here's the thing, right? The Disneyland one's super fun. What is the best part of the Disneyland one?
no, Hyperspace Mountain sucks.
It's when you shoot and you hit the Star Destroyer and you go down and you hear the music. That's my favorite part.
Yeah. Or like one of the best parts is like, at least like whenever I would take people on it, the part that would make them scream the loudest is watch out, they're right behind you. Rip the corner, ba 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 ba, and the lasers fly past you for the first
Yeah.
time. Because it's something just like so unexpected. Because it's like for the first time, it's like, it's like, oh, it's something that's actually happening to you rather than just a roller coaster theme to Star Wars music and you're kind of looking at Star Wars things. It's like, no, actually, we are under attack. Dude, they do that in the Paris version, and it is so much more intense because it feels like the lasers are ripping through you. Because since you're compact in this little teeny tiny thing, they put the lasers right over your head, and they do it in the barrel roll, and you just scream your head off because it's just the coolest thing. But yeah, the last thing that I have on here of my overrated list is I was like, oh, what else should I put? I was like, a bathroom, no. A bar, no. Snack. I'm putting for my snack the chili con queso from Cars Land.
Yeah.
That's fair. I agree.
People are like, oh, have you heard of the chili con queso? Yes, I've heard of the chili con queso. And I think it's actually the most disgusting thing that you could get at Disneyland. I think it's if you were literally like hot dog or chili con queso, I would pick the hot dog.
Hot dog's not
Whoa.
disgusting. It's just like, why?
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like I think that the chili con queso is that bad, and even worse, the only decent part is the Fritos and the chili on the inside, or whatever. That's another thing. The best one of the chili con quesos of the con quesos is the chili con queso. Every other version is horrible.
Oh,
I've
wait,
had
wait.
some
You're
of the
just
other
saying
ones.
all the cones.
Just the cones, just all of them.
Oh,
They all
you're
are
saying the
horrible.
booth. Okay.
Yeah, throw the booth away because the cone itself is absolutely disgusting.
Oh wow.
Okay. The bread.
It's
the
like it's like
The sandwich, yeah.
yeah. Sorry, Kevin.
Yeah.
It's like if you took a pretzel and you were like, what if it didn't have salt or butter?
Or it
And then
tastes like a pretzel.
or it tastes like a pretzel. And what if it was hard as hell?
I've had one good one that I want back, and it was Pixar Fest, and it was a spaghetti and meatballs, and it was like these spicy turkey meatballs, and it wasn't spaghetti, it was like pasta, and it had like crisped Parmesan. The bread tasted different, I swear.
I
Back
can't
then.
get with it.
But the last two I've had are very disappointing. The popcorn one is better. So what would it?
Yeah,
What
my list.
cone would you like?
Ah,
Let's
that's a good
pretend you-
question. Like if I could fill up a cone.
Yeah, a pretzel cone, let's say, or just assume it was good. What would you put
A
in the
pretzel
cone?
cone in particular, honestly, it'd be really good. The queso fundido from the Festival of Holidays booth. If you could just load that up with that like Oaxaca cheese and the chorizo, like the plant-based chorizo, if you just load it up and just make that a vessel for I'd be down.
I'm down.
I still wouldn't eat the cone. I would still go over and grab some chips somewhere. But that would be lovely.
Ooh, what about a breakfast cone?
Okay.
Like eggs, cheese, bacon.
Like a skillet inside of the cone?
Yeah. Some
Not bad. It's not bad.
like maybe tiny tater tots or something. I know it's not really big enough for that, but what if the cone was made of hash brown? And then you put
Oh, that's greasy,
and then
man.
Yeah.
like the cone is made of hash brown, like lined with cheese, like the grilled cheese burrito with some eggs and bacon.
I just
That's what
like
I
that.
got.
That's also my least favorite type of like food vessel is the cone.
It's a
I
novelty.
hate anything in a cone. It is a novelty, and practically it sucks. Even like ice cream cones, I don't like eating ice cream in cones. I always get ice cream in a cup because there's just something about the way that you have to bite down on the cone that is just like not satisfying at all.
I have an underbite, so it's not fun at all. I just really that's the smell of a fresh waffle cone that gets me.
Yeah,
And
you know
yeah,
what? I just had a waffle cone at Disneyland for the first time the other day, and I was like, "This I
They're
get.
good.
This
They're
I
good.
get. Like that is not overrated. I get that.
and you
They're
see the little
they're
Mickeys in it?
delicious. Yeah, and the little Mickeys on the edge. I
Yeah,
was
because
like, "Oh
they're
my god."
fresh. They're fresh.
Oh yeah,
Anything
they're
fresh
really good.
is usually good. So the cones, yeah. I can't defend the cones.
Because you know what? Everyone else is like, "Oh, the Dole Whip and all the churros and all that." Like, look, there's something good about all of those things.
Yeah,
Turkey legs, I get it. But like that is like everyone talks about that. I was like, what is something that like people don't really talk about that I'm like that is overrated. And that's why I said the cones. My second my runner up for that would be Dole Whip floats. But that's
I'm not a
more
Dole Whip guy. I'm not a Dole Whip guy at all. I agree.
because like the Dole Whip floats in particular, my brain, it tricks my brain into thinking I'm having a soggy Dole Whip. That's the vibe. It's weird.
Hmm.
You should never do a float of the same flavor where the liquid and the ice cream are the same flavor. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because like
I
it just like is weird. I don't know.
I wonder if in the future we got to find a couple of top 10 somethings at Disneyland articles and then do an
tear it up.
yeah. Not say where they came from. We won't read the whole article, but like that's where we find what people think is popular or
I'm down.
rated
Yeah.
high, and then that's our overrated episode. Like we can actually do a separate overrated episode, or ask everyone in the audience what's your favorite thing, and
Just trash on it. Trash on everyone.
I think I actually want to do an episode. We gotta like ask for it like 10 weeks in advance. Like, what do you disagree with that we say? Like something where like we gotta defend, like something that we say here all the time.
Yeah.
Like Tram Fam come after us. And if you heard this right now, if you write in with that, I will save it. So if you write in with like I'm coming after you, I will save it for a future episode. But yeah, I think we should do that. Like we're wrong, episode. I don't know. Any final hot takes, Ryan?
Just the last one I didn't get to talk about, but because I deleted it. But I just wish the switchbacks in Fantasyland were bigger. That's it.
All right.
Fair enough.
Do I have any it sucks? The green beans. It ruins the Plaza Inn dinner. You can do better with the green beans.
Fair.
They suck. Squeaky. Sorry, Raven and Joel. All right. I think that is it for our Big Thunder topic of the week. Disneyland does suck. All right. Rain said you got to go, Matthew? Or?
Soonish. I can do a wrap up real quick.
Yeah? Well, okay. So should we record one last bite and then we'll come back to We Have It So Good since it takes so long?
Yeah, we can do that.
Does that sound good to you, Matthew?
Sure. Yeah.
Because you like one last bite, right? That's your...
Yeah.
Yeah, because reading all these and then we have our trips, that'll probably take another like 10 something minutes, but one last bite, we can do something real quick.
Let's do it.
Okay. It's time for We Have It So Good, where we in the Tram Fam talk about our trips to Disneyland and what's bringing us joy lately. Write in with your trip recaps at trammin.com/ask. Rain, is any media bringing you joy lately?
Not that I want to talk about today.
All right, then we will move on. Although RJ did ask, are you going to play Star Wars Ultimate trading card game? And I said, no, I will not.
Same. I will not be playing that. Lorcana, though, all day.
He doesn't believe in Lorcana.
Oh, my friend. Fool.
I'm going to read his comment. Lorcana is going to fail because its target audience is millennials that play trading card games, and they're already spread pretty thin. And the Star Wars one is definitely going to fail.
I'm going to say that Lorcana is going to be in the top 2. A lot of people are saying top 3. I'm saying top 2. It's going to be Pokemon, Lorcana, and then Magic.
That's impossible. It can't catch up with Magic.
It'll catch up.
That's psychotic, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. Eduardo writes in, hey, so for my We Have It So Good is Lamplight Lounge. Lamplight Lounge is relaxing, has a good, pleasant vibe. The food is super delicious, and the prices aren't as bad. You're not drinking yet, buddy. I went the other day and had the Kung Pao Baos, and they were super delicious and spicy. Wish we had a bit more deliciouser. He knows what he's doing here. Food at the parks. You certainly can't go wrong with Lamplight Lounge. I think he's right.
Yeah, for sure.
Glad you had a good time. Tori writes in, Viv, Rory, and I had a fun Sunday afternoon at Disneyland. We decided to take a lift rather than drive. We arrived at around 12 and everything was pretty much a walk-on. We did Indy, Star Tours, Splash, Jungle Cruise. Space let us down a bit. It stated a 30-minute wait time, but it ended up being an hour. Definitely will plan on using single rider in the future. On our way out, we enjoyed pretzels as we waited for our driver to pick us up. We had a great time and might look into having Lyft for future trips. It was convenient to be dropped off and picked up at the front of the parks and was about the same price for parking in the structure. Overall, it was a great trip. Looking forward to more in the future.
Nice.
Yeah, I think they have Enchant keys, and that's Toy Story only, right?
The discount is only Toy Story. Yeah.
And 25%.
Yeah. And 25%.
Yeah, if it was like 25% Toy Story only and Toy Story was cheaper, then maybe it would be more worth it, but it's not cheaper. It's
Yeah.
the same as Mickey and Friends. But glad you guys had fun. Glad you guys have magic keys again or passes. I think Rory is her husband. I don't think he's ever had a pass. Or if he did, it was a
Oh,
long time ago. So
okay.
it's gonna be fun hanging out with them.
For sure.
Because I've been seeing their ride photos. I'm like, yeah, that's good. So I went Friday. So Kimmy and her sister Kayla were there all day. America showed up like a few hours later, and then I showed up. I left work an hour early because like I did I don't know if I sent it to you, Rain. I had no emails in my inbox.
No,
I had
no.
no
Oh,
emails, and I paid everyone, and I was like, time to go.
that sounds like a 2023 Friday if I've ever heard of one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I got there around 4-ish. They were in single rider for Radiator Springs. So I walked, not ran, as fast as I could and like cut every single person in the single rider line. And one guy was jokingly giving me a hard time. Like, my friends are right there. And he's like, it's single rider. I'm like, yeah, but I'm gonna stand with them. And he's like, just but
Mhm.
he was laughing. It was like two dads with beers. So
Nice.
yeah, it was all cool. Um Radiator Springs Racers is awesome, especially when at the end you get
You
uh
win.
not that. I was gonna call him McLovin. What's his name? Lightning McQueen. Says,
Uh,
wow, great job, everyone. So after that, we did Maters, which is always fun. Some kid ate it though before. Dude, I don't know why I'm bringing
oh,
this up, but it's
yikes.
kind of sad. Anyways, uh, we ate. I think right after that, we went to Pim Test Kitchen. So Kimmy got that new kebab thing, which was a little bit dry. I got the salmon poke pretzel.
Mhm.
So it's actually cooked salmon with like avocado sauce and this wasabi mayo. Dude, all horseradish, no mayo, basically. My
Okay.
nose was tingling.
Wow.
But it was also, like, kind of fun. The pretzel was a little dry. I realized it's an atomic pretzel. It's a
What's
normal
in it?
sized pretzel. The quantum
Oh,
pretzel is the big boy.
is the big boy.
So
Okay.
I kinda wasn't full, but I'm like, I'll find some snacks later on, right? Uh, then I'm trying to think in what order we did things. So we were looking for a snack. Couldn't find anything, and on the way, we're just kinda walking, and I'm like, "Oh, let's try the lemon chiffon cake that the whole Tram fam had." So we walk all the way there, but before that, we hopped on Golden Zephyr and we actually heard an announcement. If the wind alarm goes off, we will stop the ride and not continue. So it has like a little wind alarm and you could see the little thing spinning up there. But they did not have the lemon chiffon. They had a strawberry cheesecake. And they said they phased out the lemon chiffon,
Oh,
but he
wow.
said he
Okay. It's gone.
believes it's available at other places. But then
Okay.
before we got to the other places, we went back to America and Kayla because they were eating the quesadilla. And I was like, you know what? Today's the day. Non-dairy hot fudge sundae at Ghirardelli. It's been like 10 years since I've had a sundae.
What'd you think?
Dude, it was delicious. It was so good. So it's almond based. So there's no coconut nonsense going on, no soy nonsense going on. So it's almond ice cream. It's vanilla though. It tastes like vanilla ice cream, like a light ice cream almost, but it was creamy. It wasn't icy. So how do you get a bunch of chocolate with no milk in it? No dairy. All of it was dark. So it was a dark hot fudge, which I loved. There was some bitterness to it, which Kimmy wasn't a big fan of, but
Mhm.
I love dark chocolate. So imagine a sweet cold ice cream and like hot dark fudge. The whipped cream, I know it's a whipped topping, was actually like taste fatty Like, it didn't taste like
Like fake.
disgusting Cool Whip. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The nuts were a good touch, like the little crunch, and then the square was a dark chocolate square because no milk. So, I would get this again, although it was $16.
Woo.
That's how much I think the sundaes are, right? You
Yeah.
unless the
Yeah.
non-dairy cost more. It did take a while for them to make it, like other orders were going. I don't know if they're like a different person prepares it for allergies. It does just say non-dairy, not allergy or whatever, but it could be the case. But I liked it. I would get it again, even with that cost. Um, then we did Web Slinger Single Rider, which took a while because I think the ride kept breaking down, but not really. Like,
Just like with stuttering or something.
so I kept seeing like the maintenance dudes going back and forth, but our whole ride experience was fine. I mean, as fine as Web Slingers could be, but the unloading, it kept pausing at, like, awkward angles, and then it would, like, go move again, and then move again. It was really weird, but it was fun. I believe I don't think I'm missing anything. America left at that point, or we walked her to the front, and then we did Animation Academy, where there was Stitch, which I've never drawn before. Turns out Stitch is a lot like, what's his face? Grogu? So,
It was. I can see the shape.
yeah, they mentioned it. So, I'm only saying this because well, you guys will see why. So Kimmy kept saying, like I normally do very well at Animation Academy. She's like, why does it look like that? What is this weird shape, right? And I was like, not feeling it, whatever. But I'm like, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. And I believe I won her poll 100% out of her, Kayla, and me
I voted
because
for you. I voted for you.
because right at the end, oh yeah, it's all coming together as it always does for Animation Academy. You get that final touch, and I was like, "That's Stitch." The ears are a little wonky. I know there's always the eyes were uneven, but I think I drew a pretty good Stitch.
That was good.
Better than I
I
thought it was going to
appreciate
turn
it.
out because I messed up a few things.
Yeah.
But then it's almost like if you mess up, but you know how you messed. I'm not saying I'm not good at drawing or anything. Just if you kind of get how you messed up and you adjust the rest of it, you can kind of save it. So, like, the eyes were a little too big. So, you don't darken the lines till the end. I made the head bigger and changed the shape halfway through and then
Mm.
fit everything to that because, you can't really go back. But, yeah. Then, we asked Kayla what she wanted to do. We were gonna cross over, but wait times are high. She wanted a drink, and I'm like, "We gotta go to Trader Sam's." And, we got the piranha pool, which was awesome.
Delicious.
Yeah,
Absolutely
it
delicious.
goes down way too easy. Sat there for like a good hour maybe. This is a Tongariro Terrace. We couldn't get in the Trader Sam's, but the walk up was open. I should have ordered food. But yeah, I will be ordering food at Strong Water. I keep thinking it's Storm Water or something.
Strong water.
But
Yeah.
yeah. Is the food
Strong.
good?
Delicious.
Okay, good, good.
Delicious.
All right. But yeah, had an awesome, fun trip.
Nice.
I was supposed to meet up with Andrea, but like we were like having like family time. So I was like, Andrea, next time you come down, you let us know. And the intent will be to
To go
hang
hang out.
out. Like instead of like we'll meet up on our own separate hangouts, like we will we will hang out. So so we will do that. But yeah, still had a great time. Seemed like Andrea had a great weekend too. Why don't you write in? Why don't you write in? I don't know. Rain, how was your Sunday? I guessed it was Sunday. Kimmy thought you took work off, and I was like, no, I
No,
think this
no,
is
no. I went on Sunday. We had the reservation for a while, and so we made it with Heidi and Ricky, Brandy's uncle and aunt, and we were like, you know what? Let's shoot for lamplight reservations. I'm gonna wake up and just start refreshing. I ended up getting them at 10:45 in the morning.
wow,
So
wow.
I don't know how I got it, but I ended up getting it. So we got there around 10 o'clock or so. Heidi actually made the wrong reservation. She made it for Disneyland. I'm like, man, I got lamplight reservations, blah blah blah. She went up to the gate and said, "Look, we have lamplight reservations. I need to get in. It's 10 o'clock, right?" Casper was like, "Yeah, no, right?" She's like, "Let me talk to your lead." Lead came over and said, one time exception," and let her in. Let her park hop early.
So there's a park hop early button.
Yeah, there is. There is. So we went first to Web Slingers. On the way to Web Slingers, because they had never done it before. On the way there, they had the Spider-Man show, and I finally saw the Spider-Man animatronic
Hey,
after years, dude. Years. It was
literally, yeah. It's been
Yeah, I
2
was
years.
finally able to see it. Uh, Went on Web Slingers, had a good time.
Was it
Or
cool?
That was cool. Yeah, it was great. It was great. It's exactly what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ricky ended up beating me on the on Web Slingers, which is fine. Whatever. We went from there and booked it over to Lamplight. Ordered the chilaquiles and the potato flautas. They were both next level. Brandy thought the flautas were a little bit too spicy, but
What I've
I
heard.
really liked them. Yeah, I really liked them. I got that cinnamon toast cocktail, whatever it's called. Um, Brandy got the mimosa flight again, and of course, it was absolutely delicious. We were both a little buzzed after that, surprisingly. And let's see. After that, we booked it to the Pal Around. Didn't tell Heidi does not like rides at all, and didn't tell her how bad the swinging one was. So that was fun. That was fun. She was holding on for dear life.
Right. You have not learned from your mom blacking out on
No,
Tower of Terror.
no, I have not. I have not. I am evil. Uh, so they ended up leaving, and we walked by Incredicoaster, just Brandy and I, and we were like, "Hey, it's a 10-minute wait. Let's get on." So we went on Incredicoaster and had so much fun. We ended up doing it again because it was like almost a walk on. Weird enough. This is weird Sunday, dude. It was like
Yeah, Sundays have been
great, great. While we're waiting for the second time on Incredicoaster, we got a text from Ricardo and Carino asking us if we wanted to go later in the day, and we're like, I mean, we got the reservation. We could go home for a few hours and then come back. So that's exactly what we did. We went home around 1 and we got back around 5:30. They picked us up. We went in. Did a couple of things. Uh, we waited for racers. There's a 35-minute wait. That wasn't too bad. Ended up going and getting the Thai chicken tenders. Brandy got, what did she get? She got, oh, did she get the same thing actually? But Ricardo and Karina both got the fries, the El Pastor fries, which he said were really good, and Karina got the Impossible chili fries, which she really liked too. I forgot what Brandy got. Oh, she got the California burrito, which she said was really good.
Oh yeah, I want to try that. I want to try
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, she said it was awesome.
Looks good.
And went on Incredicoaster again,
Nice.
and we left.
Sounds awesome, man.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Nice. Nice. I think I have a question for you. Oh no, Rain, I need you to say breaking news.
Breaking news.
So this comes in from both Tiffy Luna and no, it's all from Tiffy Luna. And Christian with a K did see it. The garlic cheddar bagel has moved the twist from Maurice's Treats to Edelweiss Snacks.
Interesting. Okay.
Because she was like, it's off the menu. And then she saw the other thing and sent it. So
Nice.
yeah, this is from the Discord. You guys should totally join by messaging us in a way where we can message you back. You can email us, ask@trammin.com, or DM us on Instagram and all that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Glad you had fun, Rain. I will be there Monday for my 30th birthday.
Crazy,
I
man.
got nothing else to do. So yeah, I have a what do you call it? Magic Key Terrace reservation just cuz like I wanted to grab something just in case.
Mm-hmm.
They have steak free. So, I wonder what that's going to be like.
If I were you, I would just start refreshing 2 hours before. I saw Oga's has a lunch menu now. They have like pastrami, like a pastrami
Ooh.
sandwich. So just letting you know.
I do got to get that new blue milk.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Nerds.
Yeah, I'll check that out. I'll check that out for sure. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I finally got into Lord of the Rings cuz there's like a prologue and a second prologue.
Mm-hmm.
I did the
Nice.
first chapter with the 11th birthday. So dude,
Nice.
there's a lot more in the book.
I'm sure.
A lot.
I'm sure.
But it is, dude.
It's a hard read.
Dude, it's the font. I gotta send the picture. I'll put a picture in the Discord. The font is half the size, and the spacing is twice as close.
Oh my god, dude!
And it's 100 more pages than The Hobbit.
I have like 3 versions of the book behind me. You can see it right here.
Oh, I'm gonna read it, and then you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I will get through it. It's a great read already, though. Like,
Mhm.
of course it is. Rain, you got to do The Hobbit.
I know.
You know what
I
you
gotta
should
do it.
do? Find a really good audiobook and read along.
I started listening to the audiobook a few months ago, and I got maybe like 6 hours in.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
yeah. I know some people they'll listen and they'll read.
yeah.
So, I don't know. Read, everyone. It's good for you. It's good for sleeping. That's what I'll say. So now, through the power of movie magic, we're gonna ask what time it is. Rain, what time is it?
It's
Pizza time.
It's time for one last bite. Rain, we'll go with you first. Rain, as always, what is the best food you ate this week?
so I as you guys just heard my trip to Lamplight and to DCA in general, you would think it's the chilaquiles. You would think it's the flautas at brunch that I went to Lamplight at. But it's actually the Thai chicken tenders, the new ones at Paradise Garden Grill.
Ooh.
Dude, actually, minus the nacho cheese that we're always complaining about. Minus the nacho cheese, those things were almost perfect. The consistency of the chicken tender was just top notch. Fries and everything was amazing. The slaw that it had on it was awesome. I was very, very impressed by that. My best drink of the week is going to be the cinnamon toast crunch drink. I forget what it's called at Lamplight. I have it right here. Let's see here. Nope, don't know. Do you guys know what it's called off the top of your head? It's the one with the cinnamon toast crunch in it.
Lamplight?
At Lamplight,
Yeah.
No. I know there's
Mm.
Mugen tea at Oga's that
there's a
Matthew.
Mugen tea.
No. I don't know if it's like a breakfast or brunch thing only, but it's not on the menu online. I completely forgot what it's called, but it comes in a little milk jug and it's vodka, cinnamon toast crunch, like cream, I think. And you just mix it all together and it's next level amazing.
Oh, I could cinnamon toast cocktail.
There you go. Is that literally what it's called?
That's
Mm.
what everyone else is calling it. Looks
Oh, I
good.
see it right here. I see it. Yeah. Yeah, it was
Wow.
it's with rum chata. That makes sense.
Ah.
And cereal infused milk. For sure, my best drink of the week. That was next level. My sweet of the week is a good question. What is my sweet of the week? Let's see here. I go through my pictures as usual. I was prepared on the other ones, but this one I was not. You know what? I'm gonna give it to the Trader Joe's dark chocolate peanut butter cups.
Oh, in the
Oh,
fridge?
in the fridge.
Yeah.
In the fridge.
And wait. Oh yeah, that's all three. Matthew, you got yours ready to go?
I have two of them ready to go. I'm actually trying to figure out like what are things that are like still available right now at Disney.
Well, it could be something you
Um,
ate not at Disney, because Disney sucks after all. None of mine are from Disney.
oh man, a food that I had. So weird.
Any
There's not like any like good foods are like jumping out to me lately, but thinking about like Disneyland like drinks and sweets that I've had recently. A drink that I had recently that I was just like, man, I love this drink. It never does me wrong. And that's the Schweitzer Falls, one of the three non-alcoholic drinks you can get at Trader Sam's or at Tangaroa Terrace. My personal opinion, I think Schweitzer Falls is the best out of the three. Yeah, I love that. And then the sweet that I was trying to figure out was like, do they still have this right now? Because I wasn't seeing it on the menu. I've been having a lot of really good sweets at Disney that have been like going away that are part of like food festivals or events and stuff like that. I will say if you go to Clarabelle's in DCA and they have it, the mango nata is really good. Really,
Mango
really
nata,
good. The
okay.
mango nata is really, really, really good. It's a mango not ice cream. What's the
float, right?
no, not flow. What's the other type of ice cream when it's like the
Oh,
vegan
sorbet.
sorbet? It's a mango sorbet. They put the tahini. They put the not the raspado. What's it called? The sauce. Literally every time I describe this to someone, I'm like I can't remember what it's called. The chamoy.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
chamoy, and then it's got like little mango chunks in it as well. Really good. And then as for food, what have I had recently? I'm trying to think Disney. I mean, honestly, the other day I had the Plaza Inn chicken when I went there, and I just really feel like you can't go wrong with Plaza Inn chicken.
You can't.
That day, the last time I went to Disney, I actually had fried chicken at Disney as like my dinner, and then my late night snack we went to Cane's. And for anyone that hasn't had Cane's, I would recommend my order is you get the box combo, and you get what's called the Bob, which is the butter on both
Butter on
sides
both
for your
sides.
bread. Get an extra sauce, and you're good to go, baby. And
I
you
say
can
no
also
slaw,
just
extra bread.
no slaw extra bread is a good way to go. I do no slaw extra sauce.
I just pay for the extra sauce. I'll be honest.
But honestly, you know what? If you haven't had the coleslaw, try it because there
I've
are some
had it.
people that love it. There are some
I
people that
like
love
it.
it.
I like it. I hate
I
mayo, but I love it.
I feel like if you hate coleslaw, you'll like Cane's coleslaw.
Yeah, I
I
can
feel
see
like
that.
I feel like that's how it works. But anyways, so that's my food.
All right. So for me, I went to Harvest at the ranch in Laguna Beach, like an early birthday dinner. The funny thing is, overall, it was okay, be honest. But the appetizers were better than the food, which happens a lot at some of these places. The duck wings were awesome. They were like almost the size of like a drumstick, but
Wow.
it was duck, and it tasted way better than a drumstick because drumsticks they're terrible. They're not good. They're too oily. And I was expecting it to be crispy, but it was still very good. Loved it. Um, the drink was the Laguna Breeze, which man, I forgot what it was. Oh, it was a mango. I don't know if it was mango vodka, but it was like mango, peach liquor, and something else. It was super fresh tasting. And the sweet, it's a few things. I tried this like mint cake. It was like a really interesting thing, but they made like just fresh chocolate chip cookies with cold ice cream, and it was the best thing. But shout out to my mom, who, aside from like the birthday gifts, said, "What do you want from C's?" Because I make fun of my mom for saying C's candies is expensive, and she got me an entire box of C's candies of
Nice.
every single piece I wanted, and it was $31, and that is expensive. However, I make fun of her because she says each individual piece is expensive, even though you can really just walk out of there with one and a sample, and you're good. You don't need more than like the $1.80 for the piece. So yeah, I'm gonna give it all those. But it is now time for one last fight. We did not talk about popcorn sucking, but it is often overrated. So forget Disneyland. Movie popcorn or kettle corn? What wins for each one of you?
Oh, this
Movie
is an easy
popcorn,
one.
no question.
Yep, movie popcorn. And I'll tell
Movie
you what,
popcorn.
movie popcorn, you got to be good at making it. I'm very good at making it. What you do is you get your popcorn, you get your tub, you get the fold out like cardboard things,
The brown one, yeah.
the brown ones. You stack two of them in there so that you don't get any oil dripping through and staining your clothes underneath. You pour half of your popcorn content into that brown cardboard, and then you shake, 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 shake under the butter, get it all the way around, do a little tossing. Salt, same thing, shake, 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 do a little tossing, you're good to go. And I also feel like kettle corn just isn't hitting the way it used to. I feel like something happened where like they're just cowarding out on like how much sugar they put into kettle corn.
Like, are
It
you
doesn't
talking
matter whether I
fresh
have
though?
it. It doesn't matter whether it's pre-made or I'm having the fresh stuff at a fair or at some event. Like it's just not hitting. I don't know what's going on. Make kettle corn great again. That's what I'm
For
trying
me,
to say.
it is kettle corn. But yeah, you know what? You're right, because now with kettle corn, it's like that one really good extra crispy, like it's got that crack shell, like the shell that cracks, was like all of the kettle corn back in the day. And now you only get one or two.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's a
I get that.
tragedy.
I'm still giving it to kettle corn, but I will try your recipe, Matthew, for movie butter popcorn.
Yeah, when
'Cause it's
100%.
people
like
do not listen to the people that say use the straw. Don't.
No,
That is
no.
stupid. All that you're doing is you're directly. That's even worse. When people think they're clever doing that, that's even worse, right? That's when I know that they're a popcorn amateur, that they're a fool, because all you're doing is making a passageway for the butter to go past all your popcorn directly to the bottom, where it's going to soak the bottom of your popcorn holder and stay in your pants and not get any flavor on the actual popcorn.
What if like I made a bunch of popcorn and like laid it out on a hot pan and then like sprayed melted Kirkland salted butter all over it? Like or like
That'll
I don't
probably
know.
be good.
Yeah, maybe
yeah.
I do that at home. We'll see. We will see. So that is all we have for all you guys. Matthew, thank you for coming on. Thank you for we didn't tussle, but I feel like we're gonna get in a couple tussles with people. Right in if we hurt you. But no one hurt us. Except Disneyland. Any final words, anyone?
No, I'm good.
No? All right. With that,
Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next week.
see you real soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for traveling with us today, and we hope you have a happy and memorable visit to the Disneyland Resort. Please lower your head, watch your step, and exit to the driver's right-hand side only.